Oh, hey guys, welcome to the Kind of Funny Pre-Show. It's me, Joey. Just me and Kevin hanging out here. I'm eating M&Ms. Didn't realize it was exactly 3 o'clock when I put that in my mouth. Thank you all for joining us, and for everyone that hung out with us at Extra Life this weekend. It was a lot. Wild. If you didn't watch any of it, the stream is up on our Twitch archive. We'll be there forever. You can also go to @CoreyCudney on Twitter. He gifted out a lot of the really good moments and then also put up an awesome 60-second recap of a lot of the shenanigans that went on. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. It was super, super fun. I feel like one of the craziest Extra Lives we've ever had, which is crazy because I feel like I say that every year. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the craziest Extra Life we've ever had?
I thought it was a really good Extra Life. I don't know about craziest, but also I don't remember things, so it could have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened after you left, Kev.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you there for the tiny Watto?
Yeah. Joey, I set up the camera differently for KevCam. You see here?
I do see that.
Now, when I look to you, it's the opposite. Does that freak you out as much as it freaks me out?
Yeah, didn't we have it mirrored for that exact reason?
That sounds right. I'll go change the settings.
Oh, that's right, because everything died. Is that one of the things that died?
No, this is... I don't think we ever had this mirrored. We have the Skycam mirrored for that reason.
Good to know. Cozy Bear says, hey, just want to say thank you to all that showed up on my Twitch stream that was being hosted ahead of Extra Life at 2 a.m. PST. Thanks for doing that for us. It's been really cool to be able to pop into as many of those streams as possible. If you're streaming this upcoming weekend, probably Fiona will be posting signups in the next day or two on her Twitter account. So if you go to @Zuranix, ZURANIIX, she'll have the signups there. I'm sure we'll retweet them from my account and Kind of Funny's account, all that jazz. But yeah, for this upcoming weekend, since it's not as many people, we're going to be doing 2-hour blocks for hosted streams. So if you would like to be hosted, hang out, let us know. Well, and by let us know, I mean just sign up when the signups are available. And we'll do that. Tim Tam, how you doing? You look confused, as you sometimes do.
I just touched something nasty.
Ew, why do you put it back? What a freak.
What do you think he touched?
How is the post Extra Life recovery? Asked Joe Mertens. It's good. I tapped out like a bitch at like 7 a.m. and went back and slept on the couch. But I will say it was also because I was up till 4 a.m. the night before.
You're crazy.
Doing the hosted streams, and then I had to be here. I was here like at 10:15, so I woke up at like at 9.
This is the first year that I actually went home because it was like I had a crazy week of like staying up to make my costume and all this business. Mm-hmm. And I think I went home at like 2 in the morning and woke up right as the stream was ending. And I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
To not be there.
Yeah.
I'm really happy Greg didn't stomp his feet too.
Yeah.
Real excited about that.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but I think Barrett was like, oh, if you could not do that, that would be great.
That was a good call. That was a good call.
Yeah, shout out to Anthony Carboni, who came up randomly.
That was cool.
Shout out to Alana, who came through. Dornbush, Yusuf, Chloe.
Bunch of people. Lots of people. Alexio. Yeah, my boy Alexio. Helping run stuff.
Classic Alexio.
At one point, I dropped Paul off. I think it was around 10 o'clock. I took her home just because I live really close. So I was like, I'll drop you off. And as I was coming back, I put on the stream. And the thumbnail was just Alexio smiling.
Oh, yeah. He had to cut a promo for Screencast for us.
Oh.
That was one of the wheel things.
Was it good?
Yeah. He gave it a 10 out of 10, IGN.com.
Whoa.
I know.
That's a canon endorsement.
First, the Reddit thread being really nice.
I
now we got an
know.
endorsement from IGN.
Who knew?
Coming up.
Who'd know?
Yeah, Alana was here. She was fun to have around. I'm sad that she doesn't live here anymore.
It's crazy how well this works.
What?
Like the alpha king on my water. Wow. Technology, man.
Man. People are asking about the floor. Kevin fixes a lot of things. Floor, power things, not something that's really in Kevin's wheelhouse.
Actually have an electrician coming by on tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. So
Perfect.
that's fun. But I have a feeling that he's going to tap the floor and be like, I don't know, it's not good. There's something wrong here. And we're going to be like, yeah.
In your professional opinion, this is not good. Great. Awesome.
The scary part, Joey, is that when I stomp on the floor right here, right next to where the switch that gets flipped, it doesn't do anything. For whatever reason, it is just that dead zone over there.
That's so weird.
The dead zone a lot bigger than I think that we
5
are
people on the show?
making clear.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Didn't you yell at me saying who the fifth person was?
No, it's Barrett.
Oh, it was Barrett. Should we say it? Are we allowed to say it?
I mean, I think so, but he hasn't gotten here yet, so maybe he's dead.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hold off on saying it.
Yeah. Get all the kids excited.
Anakin GMT says, would you do a recap video of the highlights?
No.
I'm going to say probably not. If you go to the clips page of our Twitch archive, I'm sure there's lots of people that have clipped out things.
Lots of them.
So you could just watch them all and pretend that we put them into a video.
Did Chloe eat a Snickers and not like it?
I don't know.
Yes.
She didn't like
She
it.
ate it and she was just like, huh.
That's really disappointing.
And most of her reactions were like, huh. But those are also my
Just like, oh, this is a thing.
yeah, she was like, it's fine. I was like, yeah, but I don't ever open a bag of Skittles and be like, oh wow, these are crazy.
Yeah.
I
they're
have.
just-
I have
They're
many
just
times
good,
done that.
They're just good. They're good candy.
You've never opened a bag of Skittles and been like, oh shit, I didn't think it was gonna be this good.
No, it's not like if I go
Those
to
dark
a place,
Skittles, though.
If I go to a
How's
place
a
with an
dark
awesome
Skittle?
steak and shrimp, and I'm like, oh my god, this is incredible. It's candy. It's
It's because with
it's
steak and
so-
shrimp, you can have good steak and shrimp and you can have bad steak and
But
shrimp.
it's so
Skittles are just
standard.
always the same.
Candies are just standard. It's just I eat them. I'm like,
Have you never had these
Nice,
dark side
yeah.
ones, Kev?
No, what is this?
They're so fucking good.
What the hell?
And I
are
don't
they?
really
They're
like
there's-
Skittles.
I'm giving no information. Also, limited edition ice cream flavors.
No, the one below it with all the different
Oh,
those
there we go.
ones.
Dark berry.
The pomegranate ones and the midnight lime
midnight
are
lime.
so
Wow,
good.
Blood
green,
orange.
green.
We always pick the red ones out. The dark berry ones are actually they're all good.
I can't believe that pink is a well-loved flavor of Starburst. We have
It's-
so many of them in
it's
the office. It
incredible.
infuriates me.
It's incredible.
Because they're the best.
Did you know that we got tweeted recently, Kevin, about when we were doing the whole Tootsie Rolls stuff? You know what? It was KFF. We were
The
bringing
Halloween.
candies.
Yeah.
We got a tweet kind of being like, "Hey guys, the green Tootsie Roll is not green apple; it's lime." I was like,
There's a
"Oh,
green
you're right."
Tootsie Roll in there?
Yeah.
They have they have different colored an
the
orange
blue one is vanilla.
I've
it's
never
really
seen
good.
a Tootsie Roll with a brown one.
They have the flavored
Well, I
ones.
think they're the white one.
They're
ones.
good.
I've
The
never
green-
Well, they're
seen
not
it.
called
They're
Tootsie
really
Rolls.
good.
They're like fruity rolls or something.
Yeah.
Joester,
Mm-hmm.
did you ever send out producers for the show?
Yeah, it's Kieran O'Donnell.
Okay. Did you Slack it?
Mm-hmm.
If we just made a
Killable on
Google Doc,
death.
could you just update it and have everything there?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Killable on death. Kieran O'Donnell.
Are you having some
KOD.
problems checking your Gmail?
Tootsie Rolls, fruit treat. Yeah, they're called Tootsies.
No, I think I slacked it to him,
I
but we
can't
slacked
hear.
about a lot of things.
They're still called Tootsies.
Oh, it is lime flavored. Wow.
The vanilla ones are really good.
No, they're not. They're
Yeah, they're-
disgusting.
they're really good.
not
Oh God,
great.
we're
They're my
back to
least
this.
favorite.
We talk about this enough. Halloween's over, guys.
Cherry flavored are good.
Hey,
Lemon
Are you
are
gonna
good.
start talking about Thanksgiving sides then?
Here's what I'll say.
Ooh.
I walked into the Walgreens today to get myself a couple Coke Zeros. Did they have them? Of course not, because that Walgreens never has what I want.
Is it
But
because we go there every day and we buy them out?
We're not gonna point fingers.
Maybe?
We're not gonna.
Maybe?
We're not gonna say why. It's probably because I send Cool Greg and he just goes, God damn it! And they're not gonna have what Nick wants, and he's gonna look at me disappointed. I went there and they were clearing off the shelves of the Halloween candy, and it was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Was it all on sale?
No, they were literally just taking it all off because they just don't sell the Halloween candy after it's done. I don't know what they do with it though. Do you think they ship it
They
back to
usually
Hershey's?
sell it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like they are like, hey, this is all 50%
And it's
off.
50% off. That shit flies.
Dude, I went to Target over the weekend. Gone. There was 3 costumes left. Everything else pulled the show. They
Even the
pulled
Target
everything
is
I
off.
went to
gone.
Target.
Target's missing.
I went to Target the 30th, maybe, whatever day we did the stream,
Is the screen a little bright, Kev?
and
It could be.
a lot of the Halloween stuff gone.
you
a
look
lot of
good,
Christmas stuff. Very
Oh, I
exciting.
love it. I
Like
just
on
don't
mine.
love that we don't have a stopgap in between Halloween and Christmas. If only there was another holiday there that could just buffer them, you know?
There's not enough hype attached to Thanksgiving.
It just automatically goes to Christmas. It's like the day after Christmas when I used to wake up at my parents' house, and I'd wake up the day after Christmas, and my mom would have just wiped the house clean of any sign of Christmas. It's horrible. They'd be like vacuuming, and I'm like, "What happened to the tree? How did you get rid of the tree that fast?"
You got to keep it up till New Year's.
At least. And then maybe like a month and a half more.
No.
There was somebody in my neighborhood that had a Christmas tree on like by the trash. I was like, huh.
Right now?
It's November. So either you're 10 months, 11 months
Was
behind
it
schedule.
like dead?
Yeah.
They probably threw it in their backyard, and then somebody was like, it's a fire hazard, right? And
I
they're
don't
like, what do you
live
mean?
anywhere with backyards.
Yeah, you do.
My new place? No.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of apartments.
Yeah.
Don't share a backyard.
Do you?
No, because last time I did, it was lovely for the first 6 months that we lived there. And we used to smoke cigarettes back there, and there was like a deck and stuff. But then we just kind of conveniently forgot to get a landscaper in to come fix it. So after about the first year of living in that place, it was a place we didn't want to go to, the backyard. It was scary. It was no man's land. There were a lot of things living back there.
Yeah.
Very overgrown. And when we left, I was like, guys, I will take it upon myself to bring this grass back. And I thought I could bring all the dead grass back
You were
in 1
going to
week.
nurse it back to health?
I could not. It was.
Also,
it turns out it was dirt.
Yeah, that's not how
Wasn't
grass
actually
works.
grass.
I was going to say, once it's dead, you
It was dead. I was like,
You
oh,
gotta
it's
add
just
new
dormant.
grass.
And my friends were like, it's the middle of summer. It's not dormant.
That's how the
It's
back
dead.
of my backyard looked when we first moved in. It looked like the Last of Us. Very, very overgrown, very scary. Who knows what creatures are roaming deep underneath the blades of grass.
I love the idea of Nick, your roommates, being like, nobody tell them that's not how grass works.
No, my roommates, this is when I was like in my early to mid 20s. I must have been like 23. And all of my roommates were like, when you're in your early 20s, whatever solution's thrown out to a problem that you don't want to deal with is the perfect solution.
Yeah.
You remember that? Where
It's
someone would
that
be
or
like,
the one that's the
I
cheapest.
mean, I don't remember that. I know that.
I would be like,
it's-
my dad was like, I'll bring over the lawnmower. You can just use the lawnmower. And I was like, guys, I've got this. I'll use the lawnmower. We're definitely getting our security deposit back. Don't worry. I've got this. And my buddy Ryan and my other friend Sterling was like, they were like, that sounds good. That sounds like a great plan. And then they just went and smoked cigarettes, and we did not get that security deposit back. We killed that lawn. Shot it dead with a bullet. Although I was really good about, for some reason, pruning the rose bushes in the front of the house. And I think that's because
the
I
story
could.
with you and Ty?
No, the story with the rose bushes was the first time I started using Nair as a cream. I did that, and then I didn't realize that you shouldn't go out immediately into the sun.
Oh, right.
And so I got a really bad burn, like chemical burn on the back of my neck because there was still some of it, I guess, there, or the skin was sensitive.
Residual.
I don't know if it was residual or the skin was just like I had burned the top 6 layers of skin off, and so
Yeah.
what was underneath was way too sensitive. I was in a lot of pain. So that's when I learned, hey, you know what's more fun than pruning your roses during the day? Night pruning. And so I would smoke cigarettes at night and turn the lights on and just prune and just like clip, here and there. I have really nice roses. Shirtless, by the way. Always shirtless. I don't know why.
Weird. It's so weird.
Why were you shirtless at night?
Well, during the day I was like,
It's not like you were getting tan.
during the day I was like, I will obviously get a tan if I'm shirtless. And
Yeah.
during the night it just makes you more focused because if you're shirtless and you
cold?
get poked by a rose in the nipple, it wakes you up. So you're just hyper aware of it, and it helps the art of pruning the rose bush.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good
the
to
answer
know.
for the art, huh?
No, you want to know the real reason? I just liked being shirtless, but I was too scared to take my shirt off in front of people for fear of judgment. So I would just take my shirt off and then like flex in the window, smoke cigarettes, and prune. Plus, something about being shirtless with work gloves on, It's like
Oh.
Brad Pitt from Once Upon a Time.
You're fulfilling somebody's fantasy out there.
This is my own. Yeah, my friends would make fun of me a lot. And then we'd have theoretical discussions on what was better, Taekwondo or karate. 'Cause I studied karate, and my friends studied
Who are
Taekwondo.
you having these conversations with?
My buddy Ed, my buddy, I had a bunch of like friends.
Theoretical discussions.
It was fun, man.
You're a
Yeah, you remember those
psychopath.
days when you had like nothing going in your life except for your friends, so they would always either come over to your house or you'd go over to their
Oh, it
house.
was the best.
But I had a house in
best.
Irvine, and it was just a huge house that we had, and there was just 3 of us, and we hated one of our roommates because we got saddled with him because one of our other roommates decided to leave because his girlfriend wanted him to move in with him. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to deal with any of it. But again, going back to when you're in your early 20s, any solution to the problem is the best solution to the problem.
Yeah.
We were like, no, you need to find us another roommate. And he goes, cool. And he just put it on Craigslist, and some random dude from like Boston was like, I'll take it. So without telling us, he was like, oh, that new roommate's moving in tomorrow. And we're like, what new roommate? What are you talking about? He was like, oh, I found someone for you. And this guy moved in, and he did not vibe with us.
Can
at
you
all.
imagine Nick having to deal with that situation?
No.
Like, I get that you were a lot younger.
Oh, I was a lot
Stressful.
younger. Well,
Oh,
I was
wow.
just telling them that like my theory when I was in my 20s, I was different. Because if it was something that solved the problem, even if it was a terrible solution, as long as I didn't have to deal with it, it was great. This was
That doesn't sound like
this
anyone I
was
know.
probably the first time in my life where that I was like, oh, I need to pay more attention.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that he was a bad guy. It was just when he came to the door, I was like, hey man, what's going on? Like, can I get you a drink? You want a beer or something? He goes, oh, I don't drink beer. And he said it just like that, and I was like, oh no, we're gonna have a problem. Because I was that was like, you think fun Nick's fun right now? That was anything goes Nick.
Oh man.
I'm like,
Oh,
Joey,
man.
you didn't know anything goes Nick. Anything goes Nick was
Anything
we are-
goes
Nor
Nick
would
is
you want to.
how close is anything goes Nick to
Matt
your brother?
Scarpino.
Oh, eye for eye.
no.
We used to hype each other up.
Oh no!
Anything goes Nick made Matt Scarpino look like he was the responsible one in the room.
Oh no.
Because I would be the one that would just get hammered and be like, who drove? And they'd be like, you drove. And I'd be like, ah.
Jesus Christ.
It was fun. That was when, that bit me in the ass a couple times.
Yeah.
I miss that house, man. I miss having a house in the suburbs. There's something to it, man. You know, it's quiet. You have grass and stuff around you. It's cool.
So much grass.
I had little dumbbells, like a little curl bar that I kept out on the patio that got kind of rusty, but I would go out there once
Cigarette
every
one hand,
6 months and
dumbbell,
just lift
running.
with my shirt off and like look at myself.
There's a fuck ton of coyotes around my house right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Every once in a while, it just happens. I think it's something to do with the weather.
The fires probably.
Where they run from the fires.
Or the weather, yeah.
But
They
like,
ran
I
across
just,
the
like,
bridge.
yeah, that's my thing. Is like they must have.
I think it's probably the dryness. They probably come out looking
Yeah.
for like food and water and stuff.
It's crazy though.
It's a great question from Ignacio.
Scary
Says,
as hell.
does anything goes Nick eat carbs?
Oh, anything goes Nick. Here's what anything goes Nick would have been like. Did we just have dinner at Carl's Jr.? Yes. Wait 1 hour, smoke 2 cigarettes. Are we going to Del Taco? Yes.
Sounds like a
pretty
lot
sure
of fun.
We used to do anything goes Nick would have been like my friends didn't have real glasses. All they had was like the plastic cups that was from Taco Bell, but like the themed ones. We'd fill those with just like the cheapest fucking plastic rum bottle possible and Coke, and we would just drink all night on their patio until I passed out on their couch.
Yeah.
And they had this what we called the spider couch because they had this patio that had this like pleather couch on it. It was a pleather couch that was like. By the way, there's no such thing as an outdoor couch. Like, I guess there is an outdoor couch, but it has to be like outdoor furniture couch.
Yeah.
This was a normal couch that should be an indoor couch that they just put outdoors.
Then
And it
we-
was sticky from all the pine that was in the trees above it. And every once in a while, a light would flash from cars, and it would flash into the trees, and we would see the biggest fucking spiders way closer than they should be to us. And then the light would go away, and we would just keep drinking the rum and smoking cigarettes like it didn't happen. Like those things weren't like right here in our fucking faces.
Anything goes, Nick.
Anything goes, Nick.
Anything goes, Nick. I miss anything goes, Nick.
You
AGN.
knew anything goes, Nick. You knew me for a while. when I was
Anything
partying,
goes,
Nick.
Nick was here during Extra Life, and I was happy to see him.
Oh, anything goes, Nick was having fun.
We had a great time at Extra Life with that. Anything goes, Nick.
We did. It was so. The White Claws were the best. No, I'll just say best decision we ever made. Those were fun. Those were a fun time.
They're the
Barrett
perfect
got a
amount of
little warm
booze.
though. A little warm.
Oh, God.
About an hour and a half into the stream.
There's
he was
nothing
little
like
warm.
a warm White Claw.
Oh man.
In the worst way.
Oh no, I don't mean that. I mean like when your friend gets like fuzzes over with warmth in the face and gets like flush because they've had too much.
Your friend.
Like Barrett. Well, I don't get that because I'm Italian, but
Got
like
it.
Barrett was like he had that like I need to stop. If I have one more White Claw, it's like someone's gonna take a nap behind
Yeah,
the
the
couch.
same thing happened to me. I was, I got,
Bear just
I
pokes
got
his head in.
double, I got the scissor hands, whatever the fuck. And me, Carboni, and Chloe all had it.
I
And,
distinctly
like,
remember
it got me
take-
good. Like towards the end of it, I was
those-
like,
they were
all right, I'm
kicking.
feeling it right
Oh, those
now.
White Claws
Those White Claws
were
sneak the fuck
kicking.
up on
Yeah.
you.
Turns out there are laws.
The laws still exist, but the party, that's what it was all
Can
about.
I ask you guys a question?
Yes, you can.
What was the prompt on the wheel that was Joey emails Nick the worst possible thing that could cause him anxiety at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, that wasn't me.
Oh, someone took your email over?
What happened is Anthony Carboni moved to the back seat and found Joey's computer open, and then started sending emails to all of us.
So that was not even a dare. He just like
no, that's just
screwed with
Carboni
me.
being Carboni.
That's
What did he
great.
send you?
He sent me one that said, per our conversation, I have increased Imran's salary to $1,000 per every inch of Kevin's hair that gets cut off.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
also one that just said, Kevin's now a manager. He can do what he wants.
Yeah,
There's
because
that
that's
one, too.
yeah.
I was like,
Mm.
okay.
Okay.
It's a lot of reinforcement that I do, in fact, have 10 fingers.
Yes.
What was
Yeah.
the 10-finger thing?
I
That was a live joke that was happening as it was going on. Yeah.
Now, here's my follow-up question. Is Carboni crazy? Because for the longest time, we've thought he is well-adjusted. But after spending approximately 30 minutes with him the other night, I'm like, I think he's gone off the fucking deep
He's
end.
unique. Yeah.
I think now I'm the better Nick. And he's not the better Nick.
No, he was great, man. He was awesome.
Yeah, so the first one was from Joey to me, Tim, Nick, and Kevin. As we discussed previously, Imran's salary increases $1,000 for every inch of hair Kevin loses/cuts.
Kevin has a lot of inches.
I'll put this $10,000 raise through immediately. I've always had fingers, Joey Noel.
Yep.
And then we were like, why would you put Kevin on this email? He's not a manager. Joey then sent an email. Kevin's a manager now, so I can add him to whatever email I want. 10 fingers forever, Joey Noel.
Yeah.
I do have a question though.
I was confounded.
I
by
missed
that.
a lot of the middle portion of the Extra Life shenanigans.
Pretty sure you missed all of your own portion, too.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I missed a lot of the later half as well. But I still don't understand Small Watto.
I mean, Small Watto is something you can only experience.
Got it.
Really. No, we called John Drake to pitch our Watto video game.
Okay.
And it was me and it was Carboni and Imran as
Yeah,
well.
perfect group.
And we didn't exactly have him, you know what I mean? We think we left him with a lot to think about. And one of the pitches we were going in was basically doing Interspace but with Watto, so he'd have to get small and go inside of people. And over the hours, that escalated into copying the real Ghostbusters cartoon episode, of course you remember it, where they try to catch Slimer with a ecto net, but the net just splits him into smaller Slimers. And so then really what we started talking about was with the power of the next generation, PlayStation 5, Xbox Scarlet, Google Stadia,
You can picture these tech demos.
is how small could we get Watto?
So many small.
And so that was the thing. All we're prepared to confirm is a teaser image that we want of Watto next to a quarter. That'll look gigantic, but it's just a real quarter. Can he get smaller than that? Can he get bigger than that? We're not prepared to answer that question yet.
If you pre-order it, you get the little chance cube.
Oh,
Now,
shit.
Are you not prepared to answer that question yet, or have you not actually thought of the answer to that question?
We'd prefer not to answer that question.
We don't know how many teraflops we're going to have available.
It was just
you know?
one of those perfect, like John Drake is calling, like, everybody. And meanwhile, Fran is hiding outside. And Carboni just grabs.
Did you hear this part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The green screen bit we
Yeah.
did. So Carboni's like, okay, there we found Fran. Who gives a shit?
That was
Okay.
me. we left Fran out there. We didn't even look for him. And then finally we're like, oh, fuck, Fran's out there. And I literally picked it up and went, all right, there he is. And put it back down. That was the end of it. And then we went back to the call.
See, because I just heard about Small Watto from all the tweets.
Sure.
And I thought one of two things.
Sure.
First, I was like, oh, Watto is really obsessed with how small Annie is. So it's somehow related to that.
Of course,
like
that's
okay, we know how small
Yeah.
Annie is, as small as a pumpkin, but how small is Watto, right, for scale?
Of course.
But then I was like, that doesn't seem like enough for all these tweets.
No, this
and
was
then I
strictly
was like, oh, I need to find photographic evidence of this. I bet that Chloe came in the Watto costume.
Oh,
hence Small Watto.
We have a Watto costume?
I thought I saw one on the floor.
No, you opened
No?
the box, and there was a water costume in there. today.
Yeah.
That's where you're at right
Huh,
now.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. I didn't know there was a
Yeah.
Watto costume.
You were the one
Interesting.
that showed it all to us.
Interesting.
We've just seen Watto
Interesting.
come in.
Oh, no, that was
several
Grievous. I'm
times.
sorry, that was a Grievous
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah.
The Watto costume I've never seen
spoilers.
before.
No, there is a Watto costume. You know, I just don't think there is a Watto costume. It's not how it works, you know.
Anyway,
he's a
Small
man.
Watto would have been
Or some
something
kind of
special.
alien. A sarcophagus, I
I'm up
forget.
against the wall.
Toy Darian.
Toy Darian? We're not prepared to see if he'll get as small as a toy. Or a Darian, I don't know what that
Yeah.
second part is, but we're not prepared to say
What if it
that.
was a Watto? What if it was a Watto pod racing game where all the racers were Watto? How do you feel about that?
Watto's in episode 1 racer.
See, I think Watto's above the pod racing.
Oh, you think
know what I
he's-
mean?
What if he's the announcer?
What if he just owns all the drivers? You know what I mean? Watto slaves him.
Well, he owns a couple.
Yeah, Carboni did make that great point of, like, if you're wondering how much slave trading will be involved in this game, heavily, it will be
Yeah,
involved.
there will be a lot. Yeah.
Like
For
on the level of Pokemon.
everybody watching the pre-show, I don't know if it's been briefed. I'm sure it has. Carboni's coming to join us for our topic today. For
There's
our
Small
episode.
Watto. There he is. There he is.
Oh, shit.
Ah, get Watto! Get out of here!
Get him.
Now again, as you can see, hold on, bring him to me.
Well, he's getting
That
close to the
Watto
camera.
is indeed small. We can assure you you see, now that's too small.
Smaller than a
maybe.
pumpkin?
Yeah, he is smaller than a pumpkin, of course. For pre-show people watching, obviously, which is everybody because you're watching the pre-show, we're going to go for another 6 minutes on this pre-show. Give you a longer pre-show, then give you no post-show.
Got it.
Anthony Carboni coming in hot from Star Wars. So
I have a question. How big can Watto get?
we're not prepared to answer that question.
big
We
the pumpkins
understand that Video gamers like yourself love surprises.
Yeah.
We don't want to ruin the entirety of the game for you right here.
We know we can get
consoles
as
is this gonna be
small
on?
as a quarter, but
We're
can you
not
get as
prepared to
big as the
confirm it.
screen?
Of course, that's as big as Watto is in general.
Can we see it?
Is Watto just Ant-Man?
We're not prepared to answer that question in terms of any crossovers we may have with other Disney properties.
Do you think Watto has an ant? Named
Of course.
Man?
I like that. I like what you did there. Turn it around.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Twist it up.
Cool.
Get it in there.
What else? What's other the fun?
Oh,
things
Jesus,
that-
whoa.
That's no moon.
That's a big dick nose.
Jesus. I mean, it's spot on and true, but fuck me, Jesus.
It's so slow.
Dang, dang. Well, it's like the big ships.
Slow
you know what I mean?
hover.
Just like them big old ships in the Star Wars worlds.
Mr. Jasmine in the chat says, Nick, did you finish Jack Ryan season 2? I did, and that John Krasinski, man,
He's got it.
I like him.
He's got it.
It's good. It was fun. It gets a little wild toward the end there, where you're like, all right. But the first 7 episodes are great.
You can hear about more of that on Screencast on Thursday, maybe.
Probably not. No one else is watching it. I love you.
No, I mean, there's a whole section that's
Called-
just what you're watching.
Oh, good point.
You know?
I mean, I'm just gonna say the exact same thing again.
Thanks for bringing the egg.
No one's watching the show.
Actually,
Not Screencast. I mean, Jack Ryan. No one watches.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What the hell am I gonna talk to you about?
What do you guys think is the over/under on John Krasinski and Emily Blunt being Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic?
That's just what people want.
That's been
the fans
fantastic
want.
for so long,
Yeah.
but now that the Fantastic Four is officially coming to MCU, it's like in full fan art mode, where it's like all the big fan art people have done it, and it looks
think
great.
my
I think
gut-
they're too old, right?
Yeah, my gut tells me they're gonna go younger with that because if they
We
want to
got
tie them on
2
for like 10 years of movies,
We got 2,
Emily
3,
Blunt's-
5 years before we'll hear anything about Fantastic Four.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, yeah.
My money's on Fantastic Four being 2022, February 2022.
I don't think so.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Rated.
Okay.
How old is
There
he?
you go.
Christopher Lambert.
What does that have to do with anything we're talking about?
He said, I don't think so.
I don't know. What it is.
He said it just like Raiden did. Siri.
How old is Emily Blunt?
36 years old.
Damn, she's younger than me.
How
thought
old
she was
are
older than
you?
Yeah, I thought she was in her 40s.
Emily
How old
Blunt?
is John Krasinski?
John Krasinski.
He's 42.
How old is John Krasinski?
41.
42.
John Krasinski is 40 years old.
Yeah, so he's
Swing and a miss.
he's
Swing and a
my age.
miss.
Good for him.
Yeah, I feel like the February 2022 slot's going to either be Ant-Man 3 or Fantastic Four.
Is Ant-Man 3 confirmed?
It essentially got confirmed 2 days ago
Did
when
we see some art drop for it or some shit?
no, Peyton Reed, the director, was announced to be
Oh, okay.
directing it, even though it wasn't announced yet. But now it's announced.
Well, I mean, that's not a
You know how that goes.
that's not a huge spoiler. We know
Yeah,
that's coming.
actually, it is because like a lot of people expected there wasn't going to be an Ant-Man 3; it was going to be a Disney Plus series instead. So this is kind of like, oh shit, they're still going with it. But we have a feeling that'll lead into Fantastic Four with the city that we see in Ant-Man 2.
San Francisco?
No, the little like quantum city that's in the background where what's her
I'm
name
not
got
familiar
her-
with what you're talking about.
What's her name got her clothes? The first
Michelle
Wasp.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
How's that going to?
She got her clothes in his
Four?
tiny-
Is that where
she got-
Johnny
The
Tsunami? hangs
negative
out?
zone, quantum realm, all that shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You think so? Do we think Fantastic Four guys are trapped in there right now, or do we think? Okay.
That's the
How did they get trapped?
You think
hypothesis.
Watto's down there?
No, don't be an idiot. All right.
Well, that's how small he is, though. We don't know. He can
That's a
get that
galaxy
small.
far, far away. It's
We
not the
can't
quantum
confirm-
realm.
As the newest member of the PR
It's
family
not
for this
this.
company, we
this is
cannot
the river
confirm.
Styx. God, Andy.
The what?
Shut up.
The river sticks and the band sticks. All the sticks and pick up sticks.
I'm sailing
And
away
pick up sticks.
for the Andy, when are you
Sticks
gonna write a
always
song?
reminds me of Big Daddy.
Yeah, because he was really into sticks.
He was
in
really
that
into
movie.
Sticks.
Stick is the greatest band ever made.
I
Remember the
love the
kid said that?
always love the voice tone when they call him, and it's like, boom, 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 but leave a message, and it's like fucking, might as well leave a message.
It's Van Halen. Yeah.
It's so
I go back.
terrible.
Man, Adam Sandler, man. He was at it for a while.
He's got that new movie that
What's
looks
up with
looks
that new one?
serious. Yeah, where he's
It
like
looks
he's
cool.
he's addicted to
Oh.
gambling or whatever. It
Yeah.
looks like.
Oh, I think it looks good. It looks like Pain and Gain, but what I wanted Pain and Gain to be before I started watching.
Which
Pain
one's
and
Pain and
Gain, I
Gain?
was like, this
Rock.
movie's fucking
I was gonna say it's a
terrible.
rock, right?
It's
Zac Efron.
terrible.
And who?
Zac Efron?
That's Zac Efron.
No, it's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
and The
Mark
Rock.
Wahlberg. There you
It's
go.
Mark Wahlberg, The Rock. I think Rebel Wilson's in it at some point. And
Speaking of
it's,
Zac Efron,
yeah,
Human Torch.
Is he the Human Torch?
Still
mean, I hope.
jacked?
He's too old. They're all
You
too old,
cast all
man.
these people that are going to be like 55 in the next movie. Like,
They're
why?
not fun
Why?
about
Why
watching
build a
it.
franchise on these people?
I
Hugh
think that's
Jackman
gonna be
left when he
fine.
was
We don't need a
15
million
years.
Fantastic
How old
Fours.
was Tony Stark when he got was Robert Downey Jr. when he got
Different
cast?
thing. Different thing.
Why is it just
Superfluous.
He was like 42 probably. When he
Sure,
got
and he just had to be in a fucking CGI suit the rest of his life. That makes sense.
So Robert Downey Jr. is 54 years old, so he was 44. when
Nobody
he got
wants to
cast.
see fucking Johnny Storm out there with his 5-year-old illegitimate son. Right? That's not an
What else-
uplifting
yeah, this is what I'm
one.
saying.
You get
You wanna
uplifted
see-
by that? You're not
wanna see-
uplifted by
You
that.
want to see Johnny Storm out there with fucking bell-bottom pants on, like Robert Downey Jr.
I
had
mean,
to wear, because he was
we-
so worried about being short and,
We
and
get
old.
like so many close-ins on Robert Downey Jr.'s face, which like you would think shows his age the most. Like, who cares how old they are?
I mean, I would care if I were casting the Fantastic Four and they were. I mean, I guess it depends on the plot. If they're supposed to be younger, then that makes sense. But I would look at it and go like, I would want people maybe in their late 20s, so that when they're aging out of this 10 to 15 years from now, they can go gracefully. As opposed to like, I always think about this in context. of James
Miles
Bond,
Teller.
people go, like they're just too fucking old.
shit? That's good. That's
Miles
real
Teller
good.
was
Human Torch.
Michael.
He's not
B.
cool.
Jordan,
Jordan.
turning on
He's
its head.
not
He's
cool
Mr.
enough to
Fantastic.
be-
I like
Miles
it.
Teller is not cool enough to be Human Torch.
That woman from.
Iron Man 2.
No.
Wasn't she in it?
I know, no, I don't think so. The woman from the Kevin Spacey show. His last show before when he got
Yeah,
out.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. That girl. I want her to be the thing.
Kate
The
Mara?
journalist.
I want her to be
Yeah.
Kate Moore. I want her to be the
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, you
Well,
want to
she was in Iron Man 2, right?
What's that?
Kate
Kate
Mara?
Mara?
As
No.
what? Who would she be?
You're thinking about
She was
Sam
just a
Rockwell's
reporter
wife.
person.
So Kate Mara was in Fantastic Four.
No, I know that.
The
That's what
newest.
we're
So is
talking
Miles
about.
Teller. So is
That's what
Michael B.
he's
Jordan.
making fun of.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was- yeah.
She was in Dragon Tattoo, right?
No, that's Rooney Mara, her sister.
The Mora family, too
Are they
talented.
related? I didn't know that.
I went to school with a woman named Bridget Mora, no relation. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your best friends, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Then you just made that up.
Which part?
The Bridget Mara thing.
100% I went to school with Bridget Mora.
You're
Why would he
kidding
make
me.
that up?
I said no relation.
It's Greg.
I said no relation.
It's Greg. Why would he
But I mean,
spend
it's-
45 minutes of the pre-show talking about how small water could get in a video game that's never going to come out? That John
was in
Cena-
Iron
Don't
Man
get at
2.
it. Who was she in Iron Man 2, Tim?
U.S. Marshal.
I can go into the fucking information zone of the internet.
You're thinking Sam Rockwell's wife though. Who
I'm
was?
thinking Kate Mara. Who's in
You
it?
said she was a reporter.
Like he's
She was something. She was like talking to him in the car. Doesn't matter.
remember.
Kate Mara
It
is in
doesn't
Iron
I
Man
don't know if
2.
you can prove.
That's
I know.
what matters.
Yeah, wow,
Let's
Wikipedia
can
says
we call
it.
Bridget Mara and see if her non-sister was in that movie?
Look her up in the yearbook. Find her information.
In the yearbook?
Yeah.
I
just
think
don't
her
believe you.
information's changed since like our 8th grade yearbook.
I mean, but her name has and her face has.
Does she still
Her
wear
name
funny
might have.
Facial
scrunchies?
recognition.
I like.
Here's what
Why did
do.
you jump to the yearbook rather than Facebook or any
Here's what
other
you do.
piece of information?
Here's what you
Wow,
do.
a photo of a girl that could be from the Dragon
Any
Tattoo.
movie that could literally. It says
That could be-
Netflix
yeah.
on it, Tim.
It says
does
the
say
one
Netflix.
shining light in Iron
It
Man
does.
2.
It says
Say
it says
Netflix.
the Netflix banners on it. It's clearly from season 1 of House of Cards.
So your random friend that you knew in high school.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
became
What's she
excused.
holding there?
It looks like a potato.
Kevin Spacey's career.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, she was super hot. I remember that. Okay, so Kate Mara or Bridget Mara, your random friend from high school.
Sure.
You take a
High
photo.
school or college?
Nah, we were to get.
What
we
if she
all,
got married? What if she changed her name? You won't know that. So what you do, you take a photo, you post it to Facebook, and then it automatically goes, "Are you talking about this person? Do you want to tag this person in
Holy
this
shit,
photo?"
Andy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again,
Who
though,
the
I
hell
think
did you
if I
stalk?
knew how to
No.
use
No, because
Facebook,
it happens to me all the time. Whenever Kind of Funny best friends will take photos of me, and they'll put them on their Facebook and like, oh, I met Andy over the weekend or whatever at RTX or whatever,
Yeah, tags Jon
and then
Snow.
it'll like say like, hey, here's a photo of you. Do you want to tag yourself in this? Because this person's posting a photo of you,
Yeah.
and it's always like weird how they do that.
Really smart, though. I never thought about using it for evil.
You never thought about using Facebook for evil. Wow, you're the
Not
only
in,
person
not
on
in
the
that
planet.
way, man. That's pretty impressive.
Good for you.
But I mean,
you're
is
making
this
me
for
turn on
evil, though?
Facebook.
I thought we were just trying to find out who Bridget Mara is to make sure that she is related to these
That's not how you spell
Maras.
Bridget. I
She's
guess.
not. I feel like that's been
That's been
explicitly
confirmed to my knowledge.
I
clear.
think there's 2 T's.
To your knowledge, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
you spelled it right.
Well, I mean, what? I
I
mean,
right
there's-
there. Top one.
I don't know. Is it? I don't. No, that's not her.
No, she's too young.
Yeah. I don't see now. This is where I struggle because I just don't use Facebook, so now I'm already like I'm out in the wind here. Of like,
Did you make a plural?
there's got to be a way. What the Facebooks? There's got to be a way, right? Off of like, it's smart. Like I have my schools on here, right?
bet
Shouldn't
if
it be
you
able to go like, broom, broom, like that kind of
But
thing.
I'm
Home in.
assuming
I bet if
that
you
she
just
has
typed
her
it in, you would find
maiden
it.
I just
name on
did.
there
No,
if
to
she
just
got
Google
married.
search with the name of the school. We also should not be encouraging people.
Yes.
LinkedIn,
naming
the
random
best way to stalk
civilians'
somebody.
names. What's that?
LinkedIn is the best way to stalk someone.
It is, but you
My
have to be real
favorite-
careful that you're not signed in.
My favorite thing about it is like it's like totally whatever. It's our world, but like somewhere in some accounting firm or something, somebody's gonna walk over to like this Bridget's desk and be like, "You're from Illinois, right? You go to school with Greg Miller? Oh yeah, I haven't thought about him in years. Why? He's talking about you randomly on a podcast.
Are you
What was he
related to
saying? He was saying
Kmart?
you're not related to the famous Morrison, and I came and found you because of it.
Oh man.
Over here, the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hey guys.
It is Christmas in November, Joey Noel.
We're so close.
We are.
So close. And then Forbes, 30 under 30. AKA the best baby blues
Number
in San
one,
Francisco. AKA the verified one at Tim Gettys.
What's it most?
Greg,
Yeah.
where do you come down on this bullshit?
I love where
we
you're
go-
starting. I
we
love
go
where you're starting.
Fucking this horrible bullshit where we go straight from Halloween to Christmas with zero fucks given toward Thanksgiving.
I mean, they're so tangential to each other, though.
But it's a different thing.
I've said it.
One is to give thanks to Jesus for saving us, our Lord and Savior, and the other one is to give thanks
Moses.
to the fucking Plymouth Rocks.
Yep. I've said it
love those
before
rocks.
and I'll say it again.
Damn good rock.
I've said it before and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
overrated.
God, I knew it.
I think
How-
it's
I don't
underrated.
know how you could possibly say that with how low it's rated.
It's pretty rated.
Come
low.
here. Come here.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, whoa,
Let's
whoa,
dance
whoa,
on
whoa,
its
whoa,
grave.
whoa, whoa,
Let's
whoa.
dance on
Why?
its grave.
Why?
Because everybody, oh man, I can't wait to eat so much mediocre food and get stuffed. Get out of here.
Mediocre
Give me
food?
a hot dog or a fucking pepperoni za. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you right there. Pepperoni, man.
Greg, we just
No,
call
but
him
I love
Zaz now.
it. I love it though because I never get to eat that food. So when I get it once
and you
a
never
year,
get to see those people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
how much?
fantastic.
But how much do you like? You
Kick
never
back,
get to
watch
eat
the
that food.
Cowboys,
You never get to eat that food. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So like the rest, you could make a turkey and some dry ass fucking yams anytime you want, but you don't because you can make better food.
No, it's the mashed
Hey,
potatoes.
why would I get some of this fucking instant stuff and garbo out of the bag, shove it in here? You know, shove it up this thing's ass.
Here's what it's all about. It's the mashed potatoes. It's the turkey, right? And then afterwards, you top it off with a little cheesecake, right? Maybe strawberry, blueberry.
So what about some pumpkin
game
pie?
ends. Cowboys game ends. Maybe the night game is starting. Maybe you're getting ready to go out. It's like, I can go for some leftovers right now. I could go for some seconds. It's still in the microwave. Just got to heat that bad boy up.
Sure.
It's like a whole, it's great. I love Thanksgiving. dude.
Speaking of mashed potatoes, a couple days ago, me, Kevin, Nick went out for lunch, and Kevin was really excited about getting some tortas.
As he does. Oh, because I said tortas that one day.
And so Kev got excited about it. Andy,
cultured.
what is a torta?
Dude, I don't know. I never fucking ate tortas growing up.
I believe
Kevin,
Tim,
what is it?
It's a Mexican sandwich that has a lot of the same components as a burrito.
Yes.
Components is what?
A burrito.
Burrito. Okay.
So it's a burrito, but in hamburger form.
Honestly, the only way I've ever really heard torta is from like when Taco Bell comes out with their version of it. You know, that's like the only sort of commercialization I've heard of that. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
Well, thought you were gonna. You're more educated on
No,
this.
no, I haven't.
Doesn't
I have
matter.
No idea.
Even you not knowing, you'd probably know that they don't include mashed potatoes. But for some reason,
At a
Kevin kept
Wait,
being like,
what?
At a Mexican restaurant?
He thought a torta had mashed
Like, no,
potatoes
he
in it?
just kept misspeaking. But it happened multiple times
Now-
when he was talking about beans.
Kevin looks so mad.
He was. You guys don't understand. I was here for this. Kevin was so excited to get this torta, and he could not have been more crestfallen when he started eating this thing. He was just like, "This is the most like this is the worst experience of my life," because he wanted the torta to
I
be
wanted
one
it
thing, and it just
re-
wasn't.
I wanted-
that.
Yeah, bring me up to speed. What did you want out of
I
the
wanted
torta?
it to have refried beans, right?
Okay.
But I kept accidentally saying mashed potatoes.
Like he kept it. I just wish it had mashed potatoes.
I also was on like 3 different phone calls where I kept running in and out, and I had spilled something on my shirt. So I
Where's
felt,
the spaghetti, huh?
But also mashed potatoes. You never had a Thanksgiving sandwich?
No.
Not on a burrito.
Now, here's the thing.
That's
I
not
think
what I said, Joey. Nobody's talking about burrito
the
right
mashed
now.
potatoes,
think
no,
that's
but
the
I have
biggest
put
confusion.
stuffing on a Thanksgiving sandwich.
You've never put mashed potatoes on there?
No, because that's like putting bread on bread.
Oh, yeah, I've put it. I've done it.
Isn't stuffing like putting bread on bread?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it tastes better.
That's how I feel about
No,
when
I'm,
people-
I'm down with the mashed potato sandwich, Kevin. I'm with you on that. It's just I just love that with the combination of taste in your mouth.
You find her?
I was just misspeaking.
I know, it
You
was
guys
just very funny.
You kept asking about it,
And you kept getting it wrong.
and it was one of those things where like I was like pulling up emails and trying to find a phone number, and I kept saying mashed potato,
But there was
and
none-
then somewhere in there you guys were like, "Is that what you mean?" And I was like, I looked up and I was like, "Oh no, I mean," and then I couldn't remember refried beans.
But he would do it was a long day, admittedly, because it was the end of last week, and he would every so often, as Tim and I were
I
chatting.
mean,
we were
to,
all talking-
also to be fair to me, this happened 3 times.
yeah. Then he would look down at the sandwich and just go like this. Oh man, as he remembered yet again that it didn't have
I
mashed
was
potatoes on the
so-
fucking sandwich.
Memory just like short circuiting every 60 seconds.
I get it. He was going through a lot of emotions.
I really
About these
wanted
And the main emotion, disappointment over this fucking torta.
This goddamn torta that was not made. It, for most part, it was a sandwich with al
Carne
pastor meat in it.
Okay.
And it was just like, this is not what.
That's my thing is I've
This is
never
not
every
what-
time I see the torta in the taco truck window on its like the poster board, like that doesn't look good. But then I always remember Ryan Gettys back at IGN used to get them all the time from the taco truck.
Did he now?
And he enjoyed them a lot.
Yeah, I have an anti-torta agenda.
I just feel like if you're gonna
I
go
had
to a
one bad
Mexican
experience.
place, why get a sandwich? Why not get a burrito?
Because it's a Mexican style sandwich. You
Isn't
can't
the
get that anywhere.
isn't the burrito the Mexican style sandwich?
No.
I
That's a
see where you're
burrito.
You
going.
see what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
like
Is a
saying-
burrito a
They
sandwich?
perfect the sandwich
Is
with
the burrito a
the
sandwich?
burrito.
But it's like
It's
a
Headline of
full-
the
It's more like
video.
a wrap.
It's
than a
the
burrito
gyro?
than a sandwich.
No. See, I think what happened was they saw
It's like a Hot
the sandwich
Pocket.
and said, "No, that's dumb. It has too many areas that can fall out.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up." And
Needs to be
then
fully
bougie
self-contained.
ass people in Southern California were like, "We're gonna culturally appropriate that into the wrap."
I want 360 coverage around this. Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, the best when you get the T-belt and they fold the ends and then in. You're like, "Oh my god, man! It's like a little fucking."
Every once in a while, I'll forget that I haven't had a curry up now burrito in a while. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's
They're real
time.
good.
It's
You
time.
want to do it like tomorrow?
It's time. I mean, we'll see.
Have you ever been to Del Taco?
No,
They do a thing that I'm split on.
I've driven by it several times when I lived in Austin.
I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about, Joe?
I do.
Where there's always a moment where I open up the burrito. I get 2 different kinds of burrito from Taco Bell. I get just
At
a
the same
bean and
time?
cheese burrito. Yeah.
Bean cheese
I'll get a
burrito
bean
with green
cheese burrito,
sauce.
and then I'll get a 5-layer beefy cheesy beefy burrito. And I don't know which one's which because I
Cheesy
can't
beefy,
open it
cheesy
up to
beefy.
see, and they never fold the paper correctly.
You ever
You
do
know
a
when
small
they-
bite out of each one?
That's my problem. So Del Taco does this thing where when you get the burrito, it's open on one end, which is great unless it's been tipped over the wrong way, and you just open up the package and it's all beans and cheese. But at least you know which one you're gonna get. That was when Fun Nick used to come out. Yeah, combo burrito.
The green sauce at Del Taco.
No, you're just
So
God
great.
Damn it, Joe. You were almost perfect.
I've said that a lot about Joey.
I know, right?
Yeah. You know
I'll tell you
I
what
mean?
I'm looking forward to is after the Thanksgiving festivities, the following day
For
maybe-
Christmas.
maybe 2 days after. No, after Thanksgiving. My mom will make turkey
These are sleigh
tacos.
bells. Ooh, wait a second. Oh.
Does she grind up the turkey, or is it like just pulled turkey?
It's like shredded turkey, right? And then
Soft shell?
with corn, yes,
Flour or corn tortillas?
corn tortilla,
That
like, not a
sounds
shell.
amazing.
And then with you put a little sauce in there. You put a little like lettuce,
Cheese? Okay, yeah.
You can put cheese if you want, but I
Sure.
don't. And it is, oh my god, it's so great because it's in like some red. Kevin, like
Mole?
it's this one powder, this red powder that you
Chili.
make into like a
Bones.
Like a stew?
Kevin's
even
not coming
think
to
of
your
it right
rescue
now.
because you didn't back him up
it's
twice.
I don't know why my
mean,
brain
I'm
is going
trying.
to my brain is going to tomatillo, but it's not tomatillo.
No, because that's green.
yeah,
It's like
I've
adobo
It's just
sauce
red
or
sauce.
something?
nor de tomate.
Northern tomato.
It's like a thing that you marinate the meat in, and it's got
Yeah.
a really good salty taste to it.
Sure.
Holy shit, it's delicious, dude. It's delicious.
That does sound really good.
But
actually.
my mom will put them on. She'll put the corn tortillas on the grill, and they'll get a little fried, like a little bit.
No,
You
this
know?
can't be right.
Not fried, but like
Yes, it's that, but that's how you make this sort of.
It's
It's
like
turkey
it's a
taco.
paste. It's a red paste. It's a
Turco.
little.
well, you
bitter.
do that and you mix it in with a fluid, and then you get
Yeah.
your base going.
And then it's
like
yeah.
a good bouillon cube, you know?
No. I think this. Oh, it's a powder. Tomato bouillon.
Yeah, but then
What do they
it's-
think of
it's-
next?
It gets spicy. It gets salty. It's
That
delicious.
looks like the thing that everyone had the thing in their kitchen. And it was like, for me, it was the bouillon cubes, where
Yeah.
it was like I'd open the fridge and I'd always see them in there. And it was just like that vision of that, the one thing that I had no fucking idea what we used them for, but they were always in my kitchen. It was like the one constant of my childhood.
Sure.
Do you know, like, do you guys have that thing?
Oh yeah. The things you never saw your mom use, but they were always on the door. Just
There's
sitting there hanging
baking
out.
soda.
Baking
what
soda.
the fuck is baking
Well, that's there
soda
to-
used
that's
for
there to
besides
s-
volcanoes?
No, it's there to suck up the odors.
Yeah,
so
you
you keep
leave
your
it
fridge
in
from
the fridge.
smelling
It's
bad.
supposed to be open.
There
Put it
was
in the
one in there.
freezer.
It was fighting the good fight. I don't know if it can do it anymore.
But I feel like I would always see baking soda in the not cold part.
You can
Thinking
cook with it,
baking
too.
powder.
Well, you can, yeah. You can
Fried soda's better.
I
I
don't know.
If you didn't know, everybody, Bridget Mara is doing pretty good. We found her that she does not spell her name the same as Rooney Mara, so that's on me, I guess. Also, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week on a variety of platforms, we talk to you about the things that are going on in our life. This table, I'm just off the fucking rails today, everybody. It's our lives, what's going on, all that jazz. If you like it, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can get the show as one big video on MP3, ad-free, pre- and post-show included. We did a bumper crop 30-minute pre-show before this one.
Never
right?
heard that before.
Bumper crop?
What does that mean?
I mean, it's a huge, a huge harvest. You know what I mean? Like
Bumper.
a bumper crop.
Sometimes you say things, and Tim looks at me, and I go, I don't know. I
Like,
don't know
you
either.
can't back
Like
me
I
up
can't
on it.
verify that
Yeah,
that's
I
an
can't.
actual term.
Anthony,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of a bumper crop?
Hey.
Bumper crop. That means it's like a ton of something.
Yeah. In agriculture, a bumper crop is a crop that has yielded an unusually productive harvest. A bumper crop can also be a source of problems, such as when there is insufficient storage space, barns, grain bins, etc., for an overlarge crop. So you look like an idiot, and you
Yeah.
look like an idiot.
I don't
you
look
like
I
an
was
idiot.
just trying to get
I'm
it.
Greg
look
Miller,
like an idiot.
I
man
didn't
of the
question
people.
you.
I'm out there, and they're always like, Greg, how's the corn this year? And I go, I smell the dirt, and I'm like, man, it's coming in
You
good.
can feel it in his
Oh,
knees.
you're predicting how the corn's going to be by the smell of the dirt.
The corn is his right knee. The rain is his left elbow.
If you don't have any bucks to toss our way at patreon.com/kindoffunny, no big deal.
Just crammed it into your face.
The show goes up each and every Friday as one big
Psychopath.
video. No pre and post show. You have to do the ads. Too bad, everybody. Today, thank you to our Patreon producer, Kieran O'Donnell. We're brought to you by Mint Mobile and Felix Gray, but we'll talk about that later. Hey, Anthony.
Oh, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Did y'all get rested? You rest up?
But to the best of
How
our
you feeling?
abilities.
I'm good. I got a quick 16, 17 hours of sleep.
Yeah, good,
You know,
good.
just real short and sweet. Got right back up.
Yeah.
100%.
What time did you stay here the other night?
Oh, he closed it out, brother.
Close it out, dude.
You went the whole. You went the distance.
I went.
Not only we're talking, of course, Extra Life was this past weekend. Anthony Carboni during Extra Life was tweeted at about Extra Life, said something, and I'm like, "Come on up," and he's like, "All right." Getting into the plane.
Coolest
I'll see you in
person
3
ever.
hours.
I love
Here he
that
was.
you did- So wait, have you just stayed here?
Yeah, so I was supposed to come in. Extra Life was Saturday. I was supposed to be here yesterday anyway, so I just changed my flight and
Hell
came
yeah.
in for the kids, for the
Little
big
Star
for the big,
Wars show
beautiful
action.
For
kids.
those Titanic.
Those gargantuan, radiant children.
Gigantamax kids.
And then you went off into the Star Wars show.
Went
stuff
off and did the
today.
Star Wars show. Yeah, and the thing is, like, look, man, once it's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., you might as well hang out.
Yeah,
You're not going anywhere else, especially if you don't live in the city. It's like, well, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, gonna wander the Tenderloin. See you in a bit.
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah, like what would you even have done, right?
Yeah.
Go get breakfast and a sleep? No.
No, God, no. Gross.
We're gonna watch Cool Greg play Simpsons Hit and Run,
Yeah.
and he's gonna yell at us.
And then Jen made us breakfast.
Yeah, I like that it all turned into like a light David Lynch movie at the end. I think that's appropriate. I think that's the way it should have been.
I don't think I've ever seen a light day.
You should have been here at 4 a.m.
It's like Blue Velvet. What's going on?
Now, Tim, during Extra Life, you and I had a conversation about, hey, are we going to do this for the Kind of Funny podcast? Because this is my first Kind of Funny podcast in nearly 3 weeks.
That's insane.
I had the vacation.
on the road again?
We went off and we did a whole bunch of stuff, and then we went to EGLX and all this stuff happened. So we're back now, and we've been sitting on the topic for a while, haven't we, one Tim Gettys?
Oh, yes, we have.
What is it?
A little Star Wars action, a little Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You and I went there all by ourselves. No, we didn't. We brought friends. Who? Anthony Carboni. Guess who's here to talk about that with us today?
Yeah!
Anthony Carboni.
To
What
say
a time.
you brought me would be generous, I think.
We were just going, and we called you. We wanted to, you came up for this time. It's like that, where we just
Yeah,
we were there.
yeah.
They called in a favor for you.
They were like, "Listen, we know some people at Star Wars. We heard we heard you're kind of into Star Wars. Like, maybe we can sneak you into this thing.
No, we went down to see Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is the one down in Anaheim where we were gone, and the morning when Tim and I were in the morning session, we went and played the game. Then I went back to my hotel room and played Death Stranding for a few hours. Anthony went and saw the game in that time period.
Yep.
And then that night we got to go to Disney World. So we all went there, ran around Disneyland, all ran around. This is why I kicked it to you, but you didn't want the ball. Now I'm taking the ball back.
Take
you
the
know
ball
what I
back,
mean?
right?
Taking the ball back.
was taken from me already.
No, it's
You
not how it
benched
works.
him. Get the hell out of here.
Exactly,
Right? Well,
exactly.
maybe we'll see you next week.
Exactly.
You don't want it.
And so we ran around Disneyland for a while, and then, in I think one of the coolest moments of your life, Tim,
Oh yeah,
they kicked everyone else out of Disneyland, and they let you stay in Disneyland.
just me
Yeah.
alone. No, it was me and not too many people. Like what, 100 people total? It felt
I think there were about 100 people at the event. Yeah.
So they closed all of Disneyland, and then we got to just hang out in Galaxy's Edge. Got to go to the cantina.
Yeah,
What's
all
the
by
name of the cantina?
That's Oga's. That's Oga's Cantina.
Oga's
I
Cantina.
brought visual aids.
And we were there.
you
right?
brought the stuff.
I was all set. I was
How
prepared.
many? Okay, just for reference, how many people are normally at Disney World at any given time?
Well, we were at
at any given
Disneyland,
time?
as Tim would yell in your face.
Oh, we're talking
100,000.
what do you, yeah, I think it's six figures. I think it's
Yeah,
six figures.
six
At,
figures
at
for
one
sure.
moment?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Holy
it
crap.
might be it might be
Place.
high five figures, but
I would have
it's
guessed 500.
it's a lot of people.
500
500
I mean, it's
people.
just like I'm thinking like numbers. It's like a lot of people.
Kind of Funny Live 1, Andy, was like 600 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
He thought kind of funny. We made it. We're bigger than Disneyland.
We're getting there.
Kind of Funny Live 2, more people than Disneyland.
80,000. So yeah.
80K,
Okay, that's still crazy.
Now
to
here's
me.
the thing. Does
So
that
high
include
five.
California Adventure as well?
Oh.
Yeah, you count both parks.
How many was it?
No.
80K.
So 80K in Disneyland proper.
Yeah.
Probably about double that between Disneyland and California Adventure. We can assume.
Is that how many people are there at any one time, or
That's-
is-
I
during
think
the whole
maximum.
day?
That's the
I think-
maximum.
I think that's max.
Okay.
That's
a lot of
many
people.
Oh
a lot
my
of people.
God.
But
So for it to be
Disneyland-
100 people,
Yeah, so
was the
Disneyland
coolest
though
thing ever.
very often operates at like high capacity because
Sure.
it was built small, it was built first. It's capacity most of the time.
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah, especially when new things are added.
Yeah, and
Like
so
Star
to
Wars
so to
Galaxy's
be there, you know, to be there with just 100 people, like they don't do events like that very often.
No.
and
you work for Star Wars. You don't see stuff like that often, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all. And like to do it like Oga's Cantina, open bar,
Open bar.
which I don't think we had said yet. Open bar,
Okay.
which also
Let's jump into that real quick. Open bar at this goddamn cantina. We walk in, and first thing, of course, they're just fucking going for it. And I'm like, I love this. We have DJ Rex, the guy that used to do the Star Tours things. Remember when you go on Star
Awesome.
Tours in like the 80s
He's a
or
droid,
whenever you
right?
went? Yeah, he's the droid, and like he was the one that like
he's
fucked
now
up
the,
your-
he's
Not
now
work.
the,
That's
he's
good
the
for him.
DJ at the cantina. Yeah.
Yes, now he's the DJ, which is really cool. He's playing his music. He's playing his tunes. You can get all of your alcoholic drinks only there in Disneyland. You can't drink anywhere in Disneyland with the exception of Club 33 or now Oga's Cantina. And they have a bunch of space drinks, which I thought were just like, oh, they're just going to come up with fun names for normal drinks. You know what
And
I
they
mean?
do have fun names.
They do.
Like
but
Hyperdrive, Punch It, right? That's a non-alcoholic one. Fuzzy Tauntaun, Jedi Mind Trick, T-16 Skyhopper, The Outer Rim.
God, I
But-
love this.
Oh, the
menu.
fuzzy tauntaun's the
that's
one.
the thing. Anthony Carboni, please tell me about the fuzzy tauntaun.
So, okay, if you have not yet been to Galaxy's Edge, the whole idea with Galaxy's Edge is entirely in universe, right? So one of the things that they were doing when they were creating the menu, I got to talk to the chef a little bit, is he was like, what we wanted to do is we wanted to create flavors and we wanted to create textures and profiles and things like that like you're not going to see regularly in day-to-day food. We want to do something that's a little special. Space. It's space food. So what does space food taste like? I don't know. I've never been to space. Let's figure it out. So a lot of this stuff has like surprise Szechuan peppercorns sort of like integrated into stuff. So the fuzzy tauntaun has this foam on top of it.
They call it the Buzz Button Tingling Foam.
And that's got some of the Szechuan peppercorns in it. If you've ever had that in Szechuan food, it's like it makes your mouth numb. It makes them tingle. So this drink, as you're drinking it, makes your mouth and your lips tingle because it's space, my dude.
Space Andy.
And I thought that I was like, he's overselling this right now. I was like, this like I don't really usually like the sweet crazy drinks and stuff. Like I'm just gonna stick to the beer. And he's like, Tim, you gotta try this.
I
fuzzy
love a
tauntaun."
sweet crazy drink.
And I was
Me
like,
too,
"All right,
man."
let's do it. And oh man, I didn't stop after that. My face was numb and everything's tingling. It was space, man. We were in. Nick, you would have hated it and then loved it and then been confused about how you actually feel about it, but then you'd come through at the end.
I'm sorry right now, just a cursory glance at this menu. I would have downed a couple of fuzzy tauntauns, but I would have had to go for the yub nub. Just so I
Yep,
keep
no.
saying that to Tim. Because how many times would at night, if I was having those, would I sneak up behind you and go, yep, no.
Yeah, too many. Even if you weren't drinking them,
Let me
you
look
just
at this.
do
shit.
that.
I
Yeah.
just love
I want a
the
beverage
aesthetics
now.
of all of this.
Now, for
This
the
is
record, we didn't
fantastic.
steal any of this. They told us we could take it.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
Yeah, that
But
is
it was
true.
awesome, yeah. I mean, the whole experience is there, and we'll talk about Galaxy's Edge in general. But to be at the cantina, closed off to just us and the other video game people that were there, whether they be journalists or people from EA or whatever, or the star of the game, bumming around doing that. But like having the bartenders come over and ask us what we wanted, come back with other stuff, like taking care of you. I think usually I see photos from it, and it's just so chaotic of the amount of people trying to get in and out of this place. To have it to
Yeah.
yourself for hours was awesome.
Well, yeah, the cantina is usually, I think you make a reservation and I think you get 90 minutes in the cantina. And it's kind of like you hear Rex play his like entire set through all the way once, and there are a couple. It's basically a tiki bar, right? And I love tiki bars.
Oh,
So
who
it's
doesn't?
yeah, man. So like when you go to like a tiki bar and they do the thing where like if you order a specific drink, everybody in the bar knows to do the chant, and if you like order this drink, the bar kind of like interacts with the drink.
Volcano.
Yeah.
But
So
it's Star Wars.
Yeah, so if you order the hyperdrive, like sometimes the drink breaks the hyperdrive that powers the cantina.
So it's like they pull down on the tap, but it's like made to look like a hyperdrive. And every time you do it, it's a randomized thing. And sometimes it'll just like fuck everything up, and Rex will just like explode.
Oh, the
That's
sparks.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
powers down.
And
every
everybody
star.
starts like chanting, fix it, fix it, fix it.
That's really cool.
Something
It was
we didn't
awesome.
get when we were there is like if you go during a regular day, you can hear Oga sometimes. Like things get quiet in the bar and you can hear Oga upstairs like yelling at people. And they're like, sorry, Oga. Well, as fast as we can, Oga. Sorry, Oga. Because Oga kind of like, she runs Galaxy's Edge. She runs Black Spire
like
Outpost.
The Mitzi Shore of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
God dang, I'm looking at this drink right here, and it says concoctions without alcohol, granted. But if they could add something, let me tell you a tale, spin you a tale right here, Nick
close my
Scarpino.
eyes.
It's called Carbon Freeze. It's got Powerade lemon lime, wild strawberry, blueberry, and green apple popping pearls. Put a little something in there, maybe a little tequila.
Wow, a
or,
little tequila would be nice. A
God,
little
good
vodka.
God, I want that right now, dude. That sounds so tasty. I want that. Everything on here looks fantastic.
The fuzzy tauntaun, though, man, it was an experience. And the next thing you know, I turned into a drug dealer. Carboni got me on these things. The next thing, I'm running around trying to get everyone. I'm like, you gotta fucking try this goddamn fuzzy
I was in the
tauntaun.
cantina. I gave my boys
And
some
one by
death
one,
sticks.
everyone's trying it, and then they get numb. And they're like, "Whoa!" It was
Can't be
great.
good for your tongue.
Ooh, it was good, and they do like they brew their own beer specifically for the cantina, and like it's a time, man. There are two places that I really love in Galaxy's Edge. My two favorite things are the cantina and Savi's workshop.
Which is where you make your lightsaber.
yeah,
those
but-
are the two things that like really everybody wants to do. One, and both of them are reservation systems, so you have to like plan ahead getting into it.
When you say plan ahead, like that morning or days before?
Well, we got the workshop day of, but you also have to pay to get the lightsaber. Whereas the cantina, I think, is a long time before.
I'm going
Yeah.
in January, so I'd like to know kind of the ins and outs and what
If
do's
you-
and the do's nots.
I hear that if you open up the DisneyLand app about like a half an hour to an hour before the park opens, like you can get on there at like 7:30 a.m. and make your reservation for Ogas through the app, and you can get basically like if you get in there first thing in the morning, you got a lot of slots open.
But it's smart to probably do it like you would have did in a reservation, right? Like just do it ahead of time. If
I
you
don't know
can.
how far ahead of time they let you do it. I would imagine so, but like I don't know what's available to you.
Yeah, they probably don't want people to be like a whole bunch of people making reservations a week beforehand and then not showing up.
Yeah,
That'd
exactly.
be a dick move.
Yeah, but the cantina was awesome. Very, very cool experience. But
They
like,
had all the food out too. They had all the snacks that you could get like in the park. They had made some and like brought them out for us so we could try everything.
Star Wars themed?
Yeah. All the food is Star Wars
Oh,
themed.
okay.
Yeah, I mean it's not like themed, but it's like it's all supposed to be like in universe.
Do
food.
they have those little like bars that Luke Skywalker ate on
No, they
Dagobah?
don't have his little bento box with his
I
little
want that so bad.
his little vegetarian sausages or whatever he's eating.
Can you tell the higher ups that they need to sell that at one of the shops?
They
the little
they
box?
sell the box.
Do they really?
I was about to say yeah. And when we got to do a tour of it for the Star Wars show, and I met the person who had designed a bunch of the Resistance side merchandise. And I was like, yeah, man, we've always wanted to do like the little bento box that Luke's has. And she's like, look, I made sure we had it.
That's amazing.
I made sure that we had it. And I was like, that's
'Cause
amazing.
they're essentially like K rations, right? Like or like rations that soldiers would get to be able to like just keep there and just last forever.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, oh, my X-wing crashed, and like here's what I have.
You know,
Yeah.
it reminds me of growing up, Tim. You won't you don't know about this because you didn't grow up when we had a
You didn't
space
grow up.
program or astronauts.
Hard stop.
In the 90s, they just did away with all our space travel, but they had the freeze dried food that the astronauts
Astronaut
would
ice
have.
Astronaut ice cream. How could we
and
forget?
it was terrible. It was terrible. But I
every
had
time.
one and I never ate it because I was like, one day I'm gonna need this when I go to school. I don't know what I was thinking.
You know it's fake, right?
Is it fake?
Yeah, they don't have that.
Oh,
It's not
Who
real.
cared,
They
though?
don't
That-
really have
when
that.
you got
Yeah.
dragged to the Museum of Science and Industry as a kid in Chicago, that was it. You went on a field trip. You didn't give a shit about anything you were about to see except getting to the gift shop and getting that goddamn spaceman ice cream.
Can I tell you exactly what the difference is between a Greg Miller and an Anthony Carboni?
You're allowed to. You were
A Greg-
excited for the
a Greg Miller gets dragged to the science museum as the kid, and an Anthony Carboni is like, "Oh boy, science
Well,
day!"
as someone who was dreamed of like paranormal, being a paranormal psychologist or something, that was my problem. It wasn't there was no ghost exhibit.
Sure.
They
Yeah.
weren't showing me how to get the valence.
You're like,
What
I
are
don't
they
want this
hiding?
science.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I
I
mean?
always, for some reason, thought like in my there was always like a little a gleam of hope that if I went to one of these science exhibits, I would get sent
powers.
to space. No, like maybe
space camp.
it's your turn today. Not even that. If I just went to a museum, that I was going to be involved heavily somehow in one of these experiments, or
Like they were like, we just need someone
Yeah.
that's roughly 4'4",
No
that
bigger
can
than a
pilot
pumpkin.
this
Yeah.
ship. And you're like, I'm a 4'4".
Now, granted, I was the same way when I would go to a local Walmart and I would see toys out of order, and I would put them back
Your
in
turn.
place in
Hoping
hope
somebody would say
that
that
an
kid's doing a
employer
great
would be
job.
like, "Wow, I'm going to give you that toy, kid." I did that all the time, dude. I just wanted the damn Lego, you know?
Did I tell you
Give
guys
me
the
the
story of the
Lego.
one time that I've actually seen George Lucas in person?
No.
I was up at the Court of Madeira at Barnes and Noble because I love bookstores still, and I will always love bookstores. I
smells
was there
great.
literally a week and a half ago. I
Wait,
was
when
like-
did you see George Lucas?
Oh, this was years ago.
Okay.
This was, I think, I want to say this was before Force Awakens came out.
Is there a bookstore called Literally?
No, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
No one's ever thought that.
It's really
before.
awesome,
There's also
actually.
no bookstores called Word. Okay.
What was Tim's prompt that one?
I know. This is how
I text this all the I text this all the time. Blink up, dog. Everyone's like, what?
Like what? No, I just randomly was there with my wife, and I forget what we were doing. I just love bookstores, and I looked over, and there was a big table that had Star Wars like merchandise and books on it, and there was this old man that was just like low key straightening some of them, and I was like, oh, that's nice that they because at a bookstore, a lot of retired people will go work there because it's an easy job, air conditioned, access to lattes and cookies. What's not to like? And as I circled around, I looked over, I was like, that dude looks a lot like George Lucas. And then and my wife looked at him, did the double take, and she was like, that's George Lucas. He literally just walked by a table full of Star Wars stuff. And I think this was it might have been after he'd sold it too. And he just looked down and was like, that won't do. And he just kind of, it wasn't like obsessive,
That's
but he was just like
adorable.
literally
I
like
like that.
straightened it out. And like,
Jar
did a
Jar's
couple
arms
things.
are always up.
Yeah.
It was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And Danielle's like, are you going to go talk to him? I was like, what am I going to do? Thank him for making my childhood amazing and magical?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
what you would have done. Yeah.
Yeah, why
I
not?
should have done that. Huh?
Yeah.
I was like, no. I was like starstruck. I was like, I'm gonna leave. I'm like, he's doing his thing.
You should have done the far selfie with him not aware. Just
Oh, that's the right thing. to do.
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If Kind of Funny ever gets big enough to have a table display at any kind of store, and you see me straighten it, that's me begging you to talk to me. Excuse me, can you read that from back here? I'm like in the Kind of Funny shirt. It's got the Kind of Funny logo. I'm like, can you read that?
Excuse me, young boy.
as a photo of like a YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like, on-
Greg Miller just like straightening a frame with a photo of Greg Miller.
Exactly. You're gonna be me posing at a Portillo's next to my photo. Like, oh, sorry, I was just waiting for my order.
I love it. That's so good.
Now, I think it's important to rewind here, all right? Because
Yes.
what had happened is we went and saw the game, of course. We've talked about that on the Gamescast. You can go find out about it. We're all very excited
Is
about
the
the game.
embargo up for that? If I
It is.
understand?
It is. Yeah, it's up. It's up all right. Should have the game soon. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
And then the idea was that, you had that free time to do what you wanted with, like I said. During this time, I was playing Death Stranding, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I might not even go to Disneyland at all. I might wait and just go to the Galaxy's Edge drinking party.
I saw you in the lobby and you told me that, and I was like, huh, okay.
Now, say what you will. I'm dedicated to my job. It was a job thing, right?
No, I was like, okay,
Historically-
yeah, do your work.
You know me. I don't like theme rides. I'm a huge wuss. Don't like it. I get
Yeah.
car sick. Turns out I don't like heights and stuff like that. You think you're over the stuff, you'll find out, and this the very day you're not. Doesn't matter. Or you already knew this from the Ferris wheel, my third greatest fear. However, though, I was down there having a beer with you and Andrea.
ask him what his first two fears are.
I mean, ahead of Ferris wheel, I would imagine like paper cuts and like soft furniture.
Stepping on Legos.
Number 1, cancer coming back. Number 2, ticks. Number 3,
No,
Ferris wheel.
those first two are actually
Number 4,
they're
Thank
good.
you.
furnace.
Those are
Thank
good.
you.
Those are good
Thank you,
Ferris.
Anthony Carboni.
Yeah.
Furniture.
I'm just going from Ferris wheel. You know what I mean? If you're afraid of a Ferris wheel, what else are you afraid of?
I'm downstairs in
I
the
don't know,
lobby.
cotton
I'm
candy.
downstairs in the lobby. I'm having a beer. Or actually, I was having coffee. You guys were having drinks, and you guys were for sure going to Disneyland.
100%, you don't say
You're
no to
getting
that.
out there. You got your all-day pass. You're all set to go. You got your private thing. And then I for a second, I let myself believe. I let the hype that you guys had for you, because Andrea had her what's good purple ears. You were just soaked in general. You're looking at the app, trying to convince yourself to buy a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just let it get a hold of me. And what did I say to him? I said, you know what, guys? I never say this. I'm all in. Let's go to Disneyland. Screw Death
And
Stranding.
I was
exciting.
like,
That's so
holy
exciting.
shit.
That's
And,
exciting.
my first reaction is, don't fuck with me, Greg. Like, you need to be all in. He was like,
Yeah.
no, dude.
That's
we're
like
doing this.
that's like your dad. Like your dad's at work in his home office, and he turns around and he goes, "You know what? No, let's go to the zoo today."
Yeah. It felt like that, man. And me and Andrew are like, yeah.
That's literally never happened to me.
Never happened to me either, but that's how I imagine it.
No, it's the same thing I've said before, where like suddenly my dad was looking at me like, "Let's go buy you a video game."
Yeah.
I haven't done that. You know, you haven't.
The snow day.
You're
feeling.
doing great. You know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hell
oh,
yeah.
great.
And Tim has
Let
been
me go
doing
buy
great.
Siphon Filter. You know?
Andrea, aside from quitting us and leaving us, doing great. So
Yeah.
like, they deserve to be
Aside
rewarded
from
with
making
my
the biggest
present.
mistake of her life,
Just
Doing
going
great.
down there, falling
John,
off
They're
the
gonna
face
be
of the earth.
they're
Falling
gonna
off
be
the face of
bigger
the
than
earth.
Disneyland, you idiot. They're so close to being bigger than Disneyland.
But so I was extra excited, though, because I didn't even think that you were going to be there.
Yeah. I think I came and I think I texted you, or did we just
just
see
ran
each
into
other?
each other.
into
man.
us.
Because I was like,
At
I know I'm gonna
lunch.
run into I was like, I know I'm gonna run into a few people here. Like I have no idea who. And then I think I just saw you in the lobby. I was like, here we go.
Here we go. It starts.
It's on.
begins.
It was perfect, man. And then the next
Because I'm
thing
like
know,
you.
we're on
I
our
was
way.
like, I don't necessarily need to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause he's
necessarily
down there.
need to go.
You know, he has excuses.
Sure.
But you guys didn't get to stay in the Star Wars hotel, right?
That's not.
It's non-existent.
That's
yeah,
not a thing.
That's not a thing.
That's later.
It's also,
Oh, but it is a thing that's coming.
It's
right?
also
I didn't just make
I'm
that up.
contractually
Yeah,
obligated to let you know that it's not a hotel. It is a vacation excursion experience. Thank you very much. TMRC.
What's up with the S now? You guys notice that?
What do you mean?
That, like, you know, you'll see a logo and there's like the R or the TM.
Oh, like a trademark symbol? Or a
Yeah,
registered trademark
I've noticed
symbol? Copyright,
Apple
yeah.
started using S for
Oh,
things.
step offs.
Savor.
We
don't
will
even
sue your
think
ass.
about it.
Yeah.
You try to call something an AirPod. Ooh.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's way more harsh than anything else anyone could ever do.
S is secretly illegal.
Serious.
But yeah, so we just ran into each other. We didn't know that we were all going to be there. It was very exciting.
So you were doing your session. We shot over there, and that's the thing on the ride there. I'm like, again, I'm all in. I want a churro. I've never had one of these churros there. Time to get a churro, and there's pumpkin spice, of course.
Yeah.
Even better. You know
That's
what I
great.
mean? I'm like, I'm ready to spend all sorts of money on all dumb manner stuff. You and I had already booked our lightsaber
Lightsaber
appointments at that point.
appointment,
You know what I mean? Where I was like, you're jumping, I'm jumping.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted a lightsaber. Who doesn't want a lightsaber?
Oh,
That's so true.
Nick Scarpino has a question.
Now, you guys know how anal retentive I am and how long it takes me to make decisions on stuff, right?
Yeah.
How long do you get to build a lightsaber?
Well, so that was my biggest problem
Okay.
going into this is I wanted a lightsaber, but like you build your own.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I brought
I
this
would
up
have
to
been in
someone
there
on
for
the show,
hours.
But I'm
It's
just
a
like,
big
I'm
responsibility.
just like, you know, blue's my favorite color, but like,
You
I
should
gotta
make
get the green
green,
lightsaber.
of course.
It's just like, come
Blue's
the fuck,
cooler, man.
come the fuck on.
Blue's old, man.
So I was
Green's
really
new.
torn by this until we did the process. They work you through it. Like you're timed, but it's a good amount of time.
yeah.
Like-
and you get before you go, you do like the check-in process, and they kind of give you a preview. It's not like there are 87 different lightsaber pieces, and you've got to figure out which ones you want. There are like
packages.
there are 4 aesthetics.
Okay.
You choose an aesthetic, and then within that aesthetic, there are a couple different choices for each part. So you kind of like, you commit to a general look, and I think that makes it a little easier.
And the general looks like they have different names for it, but essentially it's like Sith, really kind of more like earthy and like wooden and that
There's
type of
bone.
thing.
So it's
Like
Harry Potter.
bone and that
Yeah.
type of stuff. Yeah, more Harry Potter. And then one of them is like prequel era looking stuff, and then one is like more, you know, Return of the Jedi style.
Okay. Oh, I would definitely want like original trilogy style. Of course.
I kind of like I like the KOTOR version, like the prequel / KOTOR
Yeah.
version is very good because it's like it's got that old school Flash Gordon like ornate sci-fi look to it.
Love it.
I like that.
Love
They're sleeker and
Yeah.
more just kind of like
It's got like the gold
60s
accents,
future
and,
style.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
planning on going without
like, again, I'm going in January, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be a pain in
You
the
have
ass to
to
bring
do
it
it.
back.
One person in your group has to do it because you
They
have
have
to
to.
go in there and see it.
And you can bring friends.
You get one per. You get a one plus one, right?
Yeah.
I think it's plus 2.
It's plus
right?
2.
How did you
Yeah.
fly it back?
So Tim, how did you just carry yours
just
on
scared
straight
about
up,
carrying
right?
I mean,
have a little
Craig
case
has
with
his
it,
right
right?
there.
Yeah,
You can see
yeah.
it's
Well,
not that
yeah.
big.
I broke mine, and you can still take off the hilt and take off the blade. So like separate them. I did that, and I put the hilt in my bag, and I just had the blade with me in this thing, which has got this comes with it.
Like in between your legs?
no,
or-
it's in a tube. I put it over my bag on the
It's overhead.
in
You
the
just
overhead.
bring it as a carry-on.
I straight up just took it as a carry-on without taking anything apart.
Yeah.
Damn,
do it.
Yeah.
that seems like really
If
scary.
you can bring a surfboard on a carry-on, you can bring one
Well,
of these.
it's also the thing is
Dude,
like
it's durable.
yeah, and that
Like
was the
this
thing.
thing
Carboni didn't point. I didn't know when we were getting him or building him, but like when we were done and me and Tim were posing with him, you were like, "Oh no, beat the hell out of each other with them."
Yeah.
Like they're meant to.
you kill the-
It's meant to
they're-
get
Kill
bopped
the lights,
around. Like,
Kev?
oh shit.
So there are a couple different levels of like the sabers that have been for sale. So like the nicest one at retail is the Master Effects one, right? Like the $140 like it makes the noises it does like when you swing it, it
Yeah.
knows. These ones for the park they're called battle hardened, I believe, or battle tempered, and these are like hefty boys that you can smack against anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is like buying a sword from a Renaissance fair. You know what I mean? They're like,
Hold
no,
on, keep 'em off,
take it
Kev.
home and hack at a tree with it. Go ahead.
Turn it off. Yeah, dude.
How did the light do that?
It's like the Force or whatever.
But yeah, so the whole experience was crazy. We were at Disneyland. Obviously, that was super fun. Greg's going around getting his churros and stuff. How was that?
Went on Jungle Cruise for the first time.
Jungle
wait.
Cruise is probably your thing, huh?
That was fun. That was
Yeah.
real fun.
Well,
yeah.
The Rock's making a movie out of it. so
Exactly.
he's
If The
gotta
Rock's
love
about it, I gotta
He's
love it.
such
Should
an
go
unabashed
trademark
Rock
us.
fanboy.
I will say, Jungle Cruise, one of my favorite rides to Disneyland, hard stop.
Yeah.
I would say that this was probably my favorite experience on it of all time.
That was real good.
Best skipper
Yeah.
I've ever had.
I love
loved
it. I love it when you get a good one, man.
Yeah.
You get some kid that's like when he's not working at Disneyland, he's definitely doing a lot of open mics and
Hell
stuff.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
That
like,
was
or
this
going
guy.
to like a lot of UCB improv stuff, and you're just like, I am ready to make this the Jungle Cruise for you.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
kid's the next Amy Poehler.
I went on
It's
Pirates of the
real
Caribbean
sexy
again.
Jungle Cruise. Making a
know
lot of
what?
sexual
Pirates
references.
of the Caribbean
Wow.
again. My third time ever on Pirates of the Caribbean. Didn't cry this time.
Greg
It was two
handled
in
a
a row.
lot better
Can
this
we
time.
dial it back to my biggest question? Was the churro a little stale?
No, it was delicious and perfect.
That's unfortunate because I like my churro. Every once in a while, you get a churro at the end of the day, and the guy's like, I don't know if I should be selling because they have standards at Disneyland. Sometimes they won't sell them to you if they're like stale, and I'm like, you better give me that stale.
You're like,
churro.
lower your standards. I'm Nick Scarpino.
I want it. I like the- I
Sometimes
like
they
the-
just burn a
Lower
bunch
your
of churros in front of the
standards on
children at
Nick
the end of the day.
Like, are you
like-
hungry? Are you hungry?
Sorry,
child?
you can't have this. They also pop all the Mickey balloons in front of babies at the end of the night.
The air quality's not good in there anymore.
Tim had some disgusting hot dog. That was like for
Yeah, it was one of those like hot dogs. They're like, we're just gonna put fucking everything on it. We're gonna put
love that.
jalapenos. We're gonna put
Dang
excessive
it.
amounts of cheese.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah,
something
when
me
you
and Abby
got
share.
so like that's the thing is of course I don't know my ride thresholds because I don't like rides, right? And for the longest time I would say it's motion sickness. I think we can finally confirm it is just I'm just terrified. It was for sure. You know, we found out the hard way with the Ferris wheel with my wife trying to have a romantic Ferris wheel. That didn't work at all. And so even here it was that thing of what is going to get me. You know what I mean? What is going to terrify me? So when you guys went and you're going to go do Hyperspace Mountain, I was like, I know for a fact I can't do that. I've heard of Space Mountain. I've heard of this Hyperspace Mountain. I ain't doing any loop-de-loops or seeing whatever. I don't want any air brushing my face. You know what I mean? Like, you go do that, I'm gonna wander. And since I have a respect for Disney, of course, but I really wanted to see Galaxy's Edge. I just walked my ass over there all by myself.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. Like, it was great to be there later on and with everybody else, but to go there solo and like not having to, I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't worried about
That's the
anything. But walking in and suddenly seeing the park go
Yeah.
from Disneyland to deadening, like the noise, it dies out and it's suddenly nature, and I'm walking up this pathway, and then there's the X-wing over here,
Yeah.
and there's the I don't even know what you call them, the shops, the outside shop kiosks, and everything immediately flips and is so much right out of Star Wars.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Disneyland's so good about that type of thing, but one of the key tenets of Disneyland is that you can always see the castle. You can always see like certain different areas from where you are. Galaxy's Edge is a different planet. There's like these tunnels you essentially go through, but they don't feel like tunnels. It's like cave designs or whatever that as you walk through, it's all like Disney music playing and stuff, and it totally feels like Disneyland. As you start walking through, the transition of the audio is so seamless into just kind of like little like space crickets and stuff.
Yeah.
And as you walk through, the mountains are just up. You can't see any at Disneyland, and like it is unlike anything I've ever experienced. It is so cool.
Yeah.
Did you get a little ball of Diet Coke?
I know. My hope was to get it for my dad because he loves collecting Coke memorabilia. And so I was like, we didn't really know what we were getting in for at the end of the night. So I thought maybe more stuff would be open. I was like, I'll get it on my way back. And when we came back, it was closed. I was like, I no big deal. Plus, we still had hours. I didn't want to. We 3 years away there. Like, I didn't want to walk around for hours with this empty Coke thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were hanging out with Andy, though, Andy always has the backpack. If you would have invited me, I'm always the guy with the backpack.
You are the backpack guy, we call you.
At every event.
Yeah, it's true.
And I still have some of your stuff from Toronto.
Probably from RTX. Too.
People I always ask people, I'm like, do you know Andy Cortez? And they're like, Andy, I know a lot of Andys. I was like, what the backpack?
Backpack.
And they're like, oh, backpack Andy. Yeah.
Backpack kid.
So while you were
From the
doing
internet,
that,
the one
we
that
were doing
flosses.
Hyperspace Mountain, which is Space Mountain, but with Star Wars music. And it is, I'm going to put it out there, the superior Space Mountain.
Does it go upside down?
No.
No.
What happens inside
It's
of
a
this thing?
60s. It's like a 60s coaster. It's like an earlier coaster for Disney. So it's like it's a lot of centrifugal force. Like it'll corkscrew you.
No, I don't want this.
It doesn't have a big drop though.
No.
It's got to go. You
Just
go,
a lot
and it's really scary, and then you go down.
Oh, Greg's no good on what I learned on Pirates though is Greg's no good on the wind up either.
No.
It's not just the way down. Like Greg hates the way up as much as he
I was
hates
telling
the drop.
the story because we had a whole crew with us that didn't know. We had John Drake, we had Andrea, we had Anthony Carboni, and so they had aren't real friends and they don't listen to the podcast. So they hadn't heard the story right of my.
I actively try to avoid it.
Do you listen to their podcast?
That's a great question.
How was last week's how was last week's episode of the Star Wars show?
Let me
for
tell you guys have just.
Ever watched that episode?
We haven't covered it all.
It's just I didn't know space was so vast. You know what I mean? You guys
and far away.
you and your co-host just out there talking. I love it. You know what I mean? I'm there every weekday. Just
My
watching
co-host.
it once a week.
With the name.
The non-specific.
the person who maybe.
But no, I was
male or
telling them the
female, we
story,
don't
and they were like, "Oh, that's funny, huh?" And I was like, "No, you don't understand. I'm white knuckling it right now." And like they turned around, and I was like gripping the thing, and I know it's just the one drop, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
On Pirates?
Wait, so is that why you cried? Like you said that you cried
When I
on
was a kid.
Pirates. Oh, okay.
Not this time. In second grade when we went to Disney World, that's the one that I got
It's
lost on.
so bonkers to me because like that fear for you has to come from like the fear of the unknown or not knowing what the experience is going to be or whatever. And that is not, I would not think that's what you are. I've seen you just jump off of shit and not know what's below you and come up with like staples and shit in your forehead and just not care.
Yeah, no. I'm just a good actor.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So you always live with the fear, but you just push it down?
I'm afraid right now.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
We have a spot in the studio you can't step on. You might turn off the entire power. That is.
I don't know what happened.
That
I
terrifies me.
These chairs are a little high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fall off. My feet can't reach the bottom. But when I left the
way too
studio, the spot was the size of a foot.
Sure.
Now it's grown to the size of a small door.
Well, while you were gone, Yusef wanted to squat me.
Yeah.
And we were fine with that.
We couldn't stop him. He was just, I'm gonna squat, and we were like, no, Yusef, no. And he was like, it's all I want to do is squat, Greg. And I was like, calm
These are
down.
quotes from Extra Life.
And
so,
Greg said, no, you can't. The floor, there's a space on the floor. And so you can't do it. And Yusuf was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to mess up your studio. And Greg was like, you better not. You better not. This is a bad idea. But so I was there. I saw the whole thing. Greg had nothing to do with it.
Great
And
story.
so yeah, when he against my will pulled me up into a fireman's carry,
Yeah.
he just took one slightly larger step or maybe heavier
To
step
catch balance.
to over to the side, and that was enough. Boom, gone.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, we got to get underneath those boards at some point.
Well, Kevin's got an electrician coming
great.
to do it.
I didn't know that. Great job, Kev.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'd be worried about you getting on Hyperspace Mountain
Sure.
or any of the space mountains.
Sure, any of
or
them.
the subterranean mountains.
Sure.
Any of
A
them.
Really?
splash, a
Yeah.
thunder.
Inverse mountain.
Yeah, fire, earth, wind, all
Yeah,
them.
Heart Mountain.
I'd
though.
be so
That's the
worried.
one.
I'd be so worried because I think you're at the cutoff where your head might get cut off.
Fuck me.
Yeah, like your height.
Well, so no,
It
like,
did kill someone that was 6'4" one time.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, why is it still open?
because the guy stood up. So it was, he stood up. That's why I killed. It was, and it didn't kill. Like, listen, this is
They
getting
attached the head
exaggerated.
after.
Look, there's a chip in the base of my skull, and I feel compelled to tell you that nobody has ever died on Space Mountain.
I was totally kidding. I had no idea someone ever.
no
No
Nobody
one
died.
died. No
That
one
was
died.
that was just the
That's,
that was the
that's-
wives' tale that people would tell each other
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we'd go, be like, oh, Matterhorn. Don't. There's one part of the Matterhorn where they go, you can't raise your hands up because if you do, it's gonna take your hands clean off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. You don't understand. 80s people grew up fear.
Yeah.
Fear was our big motivator. These millennials these days, fun, accomplishment, all that stuff. We were motivated by fear.
He
You want your hands?
He still
Your
thinks
hands
the
down here.
millennials are the young people. Still. He doesn't know we've moved on from millennials. He doesn't know the millennials are grown up now.
So, Greg,
No, but for
Space
somebody
Mountain.
like Max Scoville, right, who is
Really tall.
7'9",
Lanky.
Yeah, the
He's like-
the Chewbacca of video games journalism, and journalism I put in.
Thank you
quotes.
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one,
Very
he's one
loose.
black suit away from being Slender Man.
He feels creeped out on Space Mountain because like. I feel like that real high cool hairdo of his brushes up against some things sometimes.
Well, so
You would
Space
be
Mountain's
fine.
in the dark.
Yeah.
no,
Totally black,
Don't
and
do it.
you're just going. And it feels like you're really close to things, but like you also just don't know.
But
that's
there's the
part
one-
of the illusion, right?
There's that one video that somebody recorded when the
Lights
power
were
wasn't
on.
Well, I
really
was telling the
working.
story at Walt Disney World when I went. That's what happened, but it was even worse than that because sometimes if all the lights are on, it's creepy because you see it looks like you're in a skeleton of a roller coaster as opposed to like a designed thing that's supposed
Okay,
to look
okay.
pretty. But when we went, it wasn't that. It wasn't Space Mountain that's lights were out. It was Test Track that goes around the thing that broke, so its lights were on. So only half the lights in the room were on, and it wasn't the ones that were supposed to be, or not supposed to be, but like would have been if it was Space Mountain. So we're just getting harsh shadows. So we're just seeing this like
Haunted.
wire structure and then shadows coming. So it looked like we're like getting hit by all the shadow. It was horrifying. Scariest ride I was ever on.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
want that.
loved it
I don't
though.
want
It was
that.
fucking
No.
great.
Segue.
But add Star Wars to that, and it's fantastic. As we were going to this ride, I've done it a million times. I absolutely love the Star Wars version. I'm with Andrea Renee. All right. Now here's a pro tip for motherfuckers out there that we just learned this trip of Disneyland. They added a single rider pass to Space Mountain.
Yep.
So single rider
what does that mean?
essentially means you get to cut the line.
Yeah.
By
So
1,000.
if you don't mind splitting your group up, or if you just come up on your own, it's a second line. And like anytime there's like if you go on like on Space Mountain and there's space for 4 people and there's like a family of 3, they're like single rider, you're in there.
It's
So you
the
like
best
fill in
thing to
the
do,
spaces.
even with a group, because you might need to wait 5 minutes for everybody to get through because it happens fast. But them adding this to Space Mountain is a huge deal. It's an even bigger deal because nobody knows about this and it's not immediately obvious. You need to go behind the Captain EO area, which is like which is now the Path of the Jedi area. Super kind of just in the background. You go in the exit of Space Mountain and you're just walking down. You can get on the thing if it's a 60-minute wait. We're talking 10 minutes. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Even
That's what
faster.
you can be in space in 10 minutes.
Even
buddy.
faster if you're there with Andrea Renee. So
She
we're in
scares
line-
people off.
We're in line waiting for the single
I
rider
just picture
situation.
her being like, "Get on my back. I'm gonna just jump. I'm gonna jump over everybody."
one person accidentally cut us.
She gets some real soccer mom energy
Oh
sometimes.
my
and
God.
I love it, man. I
So
love it about her.
intense.
I've seen her
She gets
complain.
shit done.
Yeah, she really does, man. She really does. It's like here's what I picture in my head when I close my eyes and I try to picture Andrea Renee energy. Andrea Renee asked to see the manager, and somehow the manager is also Andrea Renee. Does that make sense?
Yep.
100%.
Okay.
So we're going in, and it's me, Andrea, and one other person, and this one dude. They made us kind of stand in a weird way where there's a gap in between us. I think someone had a wheelchair or something. Someone's walking through and doesn't notice, and they just see us walking like against the wall, so it doesn't look like we're in line. So he just goes, wasn't trying to cut. He just accidentally cut, and he goes in front of us, and no one really cared because it's like it's one guy. We can
Yeah,
just
whatever,
let's just let
yeah.
it slide. Andrea, oh no,
She's not
We're
having
in line
that.
for the next 5
She
minutes.
won't be disrespected.
And she won't have a conversation with us about anything except who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's saying anything.
I love
somebody.
her.
Somebody has to
love
say
her.
something. And I was just like, we're not. Like, we're good. And she's like, no. Like, he just totally cut us. Next thing you know, she's like berating this man from like 10 people, shaming the fuck out of him. And he was so like, oh shit. Like, my bad.
As he's getting on the coaster, like, "Hey,
And he's walking back in the line, and everyone's just looking at him. And like, at this point, like, she scared everyone else in line.
Yeah.
So they're all like, oh, I guess I have to be on her side. Like, and
She
so everyone's
became
just
the
like,
leader.
yeah, man, it was you.
Fucked up. We'll kill you.
I'd like to believe that she then proceeded to follow him over to the Indiana Jones ride and just yell at him the entire line there too.
Gotta love it.
So while you're doing that, I walked over and I just got to walk through it all by myself. And yeah, it was such a different world over there. So awesome. See the Millennium Falcon, all that.
No.
You guys finally met up with me. Yeah, go ahead.
Did anyone try the blue milk?
No, we did other drinks.
I've had the
blue
I've
milk.
had the
Blue milk was non-alcoholic.
Yeah, it was one of the, it felt like a waste.
But does it taste like milk or is
No,
it
like
a buttermilk?
No,
Like a
so
butterbeer?
there's no dairy in it at all. It's
Space dairy.
Misleading.
It's like when I talked to the food and beverage people, they were like, we didn't want to be handing out dairy products in 90-degree Florida days. That seems like a bad idea.
I see what you're saying.
We want everybody to be able to have the milk, and also keep the lines for the refreshers, is what they're called in space. For the refreshers short. So what they are is the blue milk is kind of a more like a fruity slushy kind of thing.
Okay.
And then the green milk has like a more of like a floral herbal kind of slushy thing going. They're very refreshing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not refreshing like a space bathroom.
And
like
it
refreshing like a space drink.
It
Got
comes
it.
with a
Thank you.
vanilla butter sugar cookie, Nick.
Only if you order it in the bar.
Oh shit.
But it's got a little. But it's
I wish
got
you
a
didn't-
bantha horn on it.
You didn't correct him, and he's there in January, and he orders it. He's like, "Where's the fucking
What the
cookie?"
fuck is it?
No, Anthony knows
Can I
better
speak
than
to your
that.
manager?
Yeah.
Anthony knows better than that because Anthony's very
There's-
used to
once
us
again-
calling him randomly at 2:00 in the
Once
morning.
again, chip in the base of my skull.
I mean, we would have had a good time no matter what. But getting to go there with Anthony Carboni and have him answer every Star Wars question, give you every back room conversation he's had about the park. Also, then when John joined us, who's now VP at Disney, Andrea's there getting shit done. We all just got to kick up. Have
It
a
was
great
great.
time.
That's
And I loved it
great.
too with Carboni because like we'd go into all the stores and stuff, and you knew the exclusive items of every store, so you'd be like, "Oh, check this out," or like, "Look at this thing." And a lot of it is like the generic stuff you kind of expect, but then you get into things where it's like the bento box. You're like, "That's really rad." And then every store kind of has like the stuff that is super rare looking, where it's like there's only one of them,
Yeah.
you know, and it's very pricey. But even just having it there, it's like a museum of Star Wars shit.
They sell the lightsaber crystals, and Anthony was running us through how like they used to have like what is it, the black crystal?
They had a black crystal, and they only put a certain number of them out during the day. And the crystals used to be out where you can just pick them up, and they were random. Like you would pick a blue crystal, and then you would randomly get like a black crystal, and they would be sure to let you know, like let a kid know. Oh no, you got a special one or whatever.
Yeah.
But people found out how to tell, like how to hold them up in the light just right to tell if they were getting a rare one. So they had to put them like behind the counter, and also I don't know that they do them anymore, so they could be like double rare now.
Yeah, what's super cool too is like you can make your own lightsaber, but then you can also buy the replica ones of the people.
Yeah.
And they just have this like beautiful display of every lightsaber ever, and it's like that quality.
Yeah.
So tight.
One of the things that I love is like when we went in and you were doing the sabers, like one of the things that like you were saying, like I don't know if I want blue or green or blue, like I'm torn. What am I gonna do? And I was like, we're gonna go to this store later and they sell every color and you can have every color you want.
So I went green, and
Like-
then later bought blue.
We'll get to
felt
all
right.
that.
Yeah.
When you and Andrea got over to join me, though, we went over and finally rode the Millennium Falcon, which is like the one ride where I was like, this won't be scary. I like Millennium Falcons just fine. I like
I'm a fan of all of them.
I like them all. you
Love
know what I mean?
Millenniums, love Falcons.
So we got in line again, single rider there, but it all worked out that we were all in the same game together, which was great.
Yeah.
But even for me, like being someone who likes Star Wars but not like loves Star Wars, right? Getting up there and getting into the Millennium Falcon was so cool.
The ride itself is varying degrees of pretty cool, I would say, because there's different positions once you actually get into it. There's 2 pilots, 2 gunners, 2 engineers, and they all do variations of the same thing. Pilots, one of them's controlling the up and down, one of them's controlling left and right. Gunners are just shooting shit, and then engineers are like poking buttons and stuff.
Imagine going to a Dave and Buster's and there's like one of those machines that's like in a like a closed off cart, and like 4 of your friends have to come and like it's like that, but like to a high end Disney level of.
But
design.
how are you walking onto a giant life-size
And so
Millennium Falcon?
that's the cooler part. Is like, so the ride itself is kind of this like video game that has cool moments, and if you get to be the right pilot, you get to punch to hyperspace, and it was the fucking coolest thing. I was lucky enough to have that. It was awesome.
Did you send that to Kevin?
Yes, like
Okay.
they have all that. But root of it.
Chip in the skull.
Oh, cool. Greg was supposed to
You're
bring
gonna
it
shut
to
the sound, the chip in the skull. You're gonna shut this illegal activity down of us watching.
Oh.
the
That's
ride.
allowed.
No, I think that's allowed.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think that's fine.
But
I just want the chip in the skull.
but
to, like,
before,
intervene.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say, the coolest part of the ride is the queue, which is actually walking through the Falcon. And as it's like going through, it's like it starts off a bit more just like
But is it like Star Tours where there's Star Tours used to be you'd go and there's like four different ones?
Yes.
That you can go to. Okay.
yeah,
There-
but you can't really tell.
Yeah, no,
they
that
do a
was the
better
thing.
job. It's not like Star Tours where it looks like Star Tours is more like a shuttle bay.
Yeah.
This is like it starts like Star Tours where you're just like kind of winding through stuff, but eventually you're clearly on the Falcon.
Yeah.
And
you got that chessboard
Then you go and then there's
thing.
the chessboard, and like that's when everything just hits where it's like seeing the hallways that are like the circle shapes up.
With the pads.
It's just freaking crazy. And my favorite thing about it is somehow they designed it in a way that it doesn't feel like there's a million people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like they separate the groups well enough before you get to the actual ride part that you're alone on the Falcon. It feels like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried about because I would see these photos and like, yeah, sure, it looks cool in this photo, but eventually it's just gonna look like there's gonna be 40 people in this tiny room.
Kev, when you get a chance, bring up the photo of us at the chessboard.
Yeah.
Everyone can get that picture easily.
Yeah.
You just need to act. So you have about a minute in the room before you move on. But like, if you want a picture with that thing, you can just walk up to it and get it. But you need to do it fast because eventually they're gonna be like, go in.
Yeah.
I would have just kicked it there all day.
I live here now.
You would have acted like the person that people come to take photos with.
And look, it's Disneyland, and they have rules about like they want to make sure that you have like their employees are obligated to make sure you have the time you want to have, right?
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that's kind of great about Disney. And so if your group gets called and you're like, we'd like to take another picture at the table, they'll send another group ahead of you. Like they won't do it too often because they'll be like, hey, you got to let everybody enjoy the Falcon.
Sure.
But
So I can't just pull out a Starbucks and be like, I'm here for the duration. My laptop, I start right before
yeah. Well, there are no outlets. That's the problem. It's like you can start. Everybody's
it's
always
all
got
induction
to
charging on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Did you see did you catch the kissing room, the little kissing hallway?
No.
The kissing hallway is there, and if you check out the lights on the wall of the kissing hallway, the readout display, it makes a little X and a little O.
Oh, I love
It's very cute. That's my favorite part of it too. Is like just being able to be in the common area of the Falcon because. We got to. This is going to start off like not even a humble brag. It's going to start off like an asshole brag.
Going full in.
But we had like a Falcon, an interior of the Falcon for solo press days and for the premiere and things like that, and for special events. So I got to go into and like walk around on the Falcon like once before the park opened, and it was like. I was like shaking.
I would freak out.
You know what I mean? I was
cry.
like shaking, and it was in particular it was Lando's Falcon from like the Solo era. So like his like drink mixers were there, and like you know what I mean. And I was just like, oh my god! And I was like walking around. I was like, this is the most. Like it was we had part of it at Star Wars Celebration. I made sure to like bring my mom on because I was like, Mom, look, we're on the Millennium Falcon, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe like this is such an amazing feeling. Like I wish everybody could have this feeling.
Yeah.
And then they were like, guess what? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So I just love that they thought enough to make that as much of an experience as the riding of it, right?
Yeah.
Because we all want to sit at the Dejaric table, right? And we all want to like just hang out and push buttons and like. That to me is equally as good as the ride.
Totally.
Equally as good.
I'm the type of person that will cry for anything, and I expect to cry a lot.
Oh,
dude.
Andy, it's gonna hit you.
that
man.
backpack is half
when
tissues.
when you first see the Falcon from the outside,
other half?
like you turn a corner and you just see it parked there. And I've seen 1,000 pictures, all of our friends in front of it. It hit me, man.
Yeah.
It's a moment. Like it's really special because it's huge. Like it is absolutely huge, and that's the other thing. You can totally get the picture, like the picture you've seen everyone
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not just an exclusive. Like, oh, we got to go because of this stuff. Anyone that goes to Galaxy's Edge can get that shot.
That was
great.
the first thing I saw online when they released the picture, and it was like, it was the father and the daughter's like pulling him towards the Falcon, and it's like totally empty, and everybody's like, never gonna happen. You'll never get that photo. And I was like, that's probably true. That's probably true. And then people were walking out with that photo. I was like, they did it. How'd they do
designed
it?
so well, man.
How'd they do it?
And I think part of that is the experience is so like just overtaking where all the cast members there are in character.
Can we talk about these people that took our photo, by the way? Or
Are we doing it
this
chronological? I think we're doing chronological.
Let's do
Okay,
chronological.
okay,
We'll get
okay.
there. We'll get there.
So yeah, I think you want. So let's go to you. The footage of you actually doing it, driving the Falcon,
oh, there we go. Yeah, the Falcon. Please bring it up.
and then Greg's perspectives after it.
Is there audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like found footage or something.
The 15 things you see before you die. Yeah.
Right pilot, make the jump to light speed. Oh god.
Ugh.
Tim, you did a great job jumping onto life.
Thank
Did.
you. Thank you.
Look at that.
Wow. Holy shit.
It's insane.
Wow. That's
But yeah,
really,
try
really
your
cool.
best to get the right.
What do
pilot.
you? So what do you think?
Kev, use Greg's perspective.
Chip in the brain.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
need to intervene here, please do.
Oh,
but
no,
what do you think that like? How are the displays, like constructed to show you space? How?
Are they
Like-
LEDs?
Like
Yeah,
Are they just running outside?
it's video wall stuff, but like outside of the windows.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't.
Is it
really-
like a flat plane, or can you like?
No.
is it kind of like
It's like it's the domed type of situation.
Yeah, I think it's like a curved LED or something. But it's like so you've got your actual like windshield, and then there's a curved LED on the outside of it.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
That's cool.
It might even be projection, like
Yeah.
rear projection around a
Yeah.
dome. Like
I don't know
that,
how
I think
they
that
do
would make
that.
the most sense. But it looks awesome.
That's
Like you were
cool.
definitely surrounded by it. Greg, that was your perspective. Greg's perspective is your lightsaber building.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did the ride. That was great. And then,
But now hold on,
eventually-
I'm gonna send off. I got more stuff I'm sending over here. Just because I forgot, I should have sent this to you. I was just focused on lightsaber stuff before. Kevin, this is coming to Control. For me, it was like getting on there. Right, I can't believe how well done this thing is. And like the long and short of it, right, is, and I tweeted and talked about this after the fact, right, of like this gave me such a newfound respect for Disney. This is the first time I've ever as an adult gone to Disneyland or World for that matter, and had such a great time. And that includes the stuff beforehand.
These guys
But
are up to something.
in
good, huh?
particular, yeah, they might it might last. In
onto
particular, that,
something.
but then also going into here and having it down to such minute detail, right? That even for me as a casual Star Wars fan, that I was, Andy, you're talking about crying, I was getting choked up, right? Especially when we look at the lightsaber stuff. But in general, just being there and how much they love and care about this and nailed it, right? They did all this different stuff to make it work. But
I'm somebody who's tearing up like in Cars Land. Like I can't imagine what Star Wars is.
dude,
gonna
no,
do for
Cars Land though is
it's all in a cone. Everything you get is in a cone.
Cars Land is.
I don't even like cars. I think cars is dumb.
I
but
walk
like,
everywhere.
I showed up and all the food's in a cone. I love it.
But when we got in there to do it, I pulled engineer. Tim and Andrew were pilots. When I got in there to do it and sat down, and they're like, all right, cool. The lady came in. She's like, all right, have a great time, everybody. Make sure you buckle your seatbelts. And I was like, seatbelts? And I put it on and clipped it, and then like the door left, and it did the and like a lock, and I immediately go, Andrew, does this go upside down? Like I was like literally about to fucking lose it immediately, and she's like, no, it doesn't go upside down. It doesn't do anything at all. Like don't worry. I'm like, all right, fine. But even at some point, I had my water bottle next to me. I had to put it on the floor to prove to myself that we weren't going like crazy because it feels the way they do. And like you move and shit, and you're up and down, and you're getting blasted with air. If Kevin has any of the footage I sent over, if it actually went, because we're trying to use
which
Slack.
one do you want?
Yeah, that one right there, yeah. Well, there's two of whatever. It doesn't matter. There's that one of me. And, that's not what I meant to send. Doesn't matter.
That's from the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, that's Jungle Cruise. Go to the other one, yeah. But like, this is just more footage of it. I don't know if I think this might be of me turning over as an engineer and slamming on the buttons on the wall or whatever, or it might just be Tim playing. Because I wanted to make sure Tim got as much footage as possible. There you go. This is just what I'm doing or whatever. And like, they'd have air blasts out of the walls and stuff as you bumped into things. And then like anything that anything that lights up, I need to hit or whatever to try to make it go. Like it was so much fun, yeah. But
so awesome.
yeah, it was so cool.
I wanna. Did you? I know you're the big Star Wars guy here.
I mean, I feel like everyone but Greg is the big Star Wars.
But
guy.
like, were you aware of Hondo as a character before you had gone on Hondo Ohnaka?
I know he's from Rebels and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I haven't watched Rebels.
Hondo is there, and for whatever he has the Falcon because he just does. But whether or not you know Hondo, the Hondo animatronic when you're going on as he's giving you like the job and everything. It's like one of the most impressive things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That character, that robot character,
Yeah.
that like he's like moving individual fingers and he's like walking and he's like doing this and I was just like, damn, we've come a long way since Robot Abe Lincoln.
Kev, I just sent Assets a video of us when we were just outside kind of chilling and talking about the cast members being so awesome. The stormtroopers are all in character.
Yeah.
While we were waiting for our appointment for the lightsaber thing, which again, even then, like you go up to them and it's not like, I'm checking in for this thing. It's all space talk and it's all just like fully in character of like, we're like, we're here for the lightsaber thing. And they're like, you mean the
Junk shop, right?
The wreckage? Because it's like you're doing a drug deal because it's like you're not supposed to be getting lightsabers.
Don't show this.
Don't show it.
Don't
I told
don't
Kevin
show
not
it.
to show, but I got up
Don't
too
show it.
early.
Oh yeah. So I have a rule where whenever I'm at the park, I absolutely mess with the stormtroopers, and I think it should be everybody's rule. Because they have to stay in character, and they will stay in character.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's just a lot. Listen, man, I don't know where you're at in your life in the year of our Lord 2019. I just like to yell at authority. Feels good. It feels good to be able to yell at authority and know nothing's gonna happen. And know that authority feels like, yeah, okay, it's all right to yell at me. I'm
So,
just saying, it's a good
Just
experience.
wait for the one employee who's like,
This is my last day.
So I missed like it all happening. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my camera out in time, but they were like messing with you, and you're messing right back, and they're like, "Hey, you're causing trouble here." And yeah, play this.
Well, I know I feel better. Keep healthy, all. We have eyes on you.
How are their voices doing that?
I'm sure it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard, it's in their gloves, right? They point and do things with their fingers.
So they were like messing with me, and they were like, "Are you trying to cause trouble?" I was like, "No, sir, I would never. And then I yelled at them as they started walking away, and then I hid behind Greg. And they
As one does.
But they have like, I think it's in their fingers.
Yeah,
You'll
you see
notice
them move their
moving
fingers, and they do that. I think it's like
It's cool though, because like as it's all happening, it kind of creates like a mini show. Like so, people around like kind of stop and are looking because these stormtroopers are just yelling
Sure.
at this dude. Like
The
it's
one
awesome.
person we didn't see that I was hoping we would see is there's like a main character, because the whole idea is Black Spire Outpost Galaxy's Edge is always set after Episode 8. That's when it's always after episode. That's where it is in the timeline. And the main character on Black Spire Outpost is a Resistance spy named Vi Marati. And she is always running around. And if you can catch her and you know who she is and you talk to her like she's a spy, she will run you around and do like really cool shit with you.
Yeah.
Because she's not in armor or anything. She's like a face character. So she's just like a person in a suit. And she'll just run you around. She'll be like, we've got to like find my friends. I'm like here. Are you with the Resistance? Like, who are you? Like, and then as soon as you tell her you know who she is, she'll like run you down back alleys and like hide with you and like mess with the First Order with you.
Like,
and,
can you I mean, that's cool as shit for me, but like, can you imagine being a 10-year-old, being a kid, like a young Andy, experiencing this thing? It's so mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did run into Ray, which I thought was cool.
I wasn't there for that.
It must have been on the way out. I
Okay.
ran into Ray. There's Vi Marati. Yeah,
Now
she's
we
pretty
know.
dope.
Now we know.
So if you
Now you
ever
know
see,
you're looking for her.
if you ever see her, tell her you're with the Resistance, or tell her you know who she is, and she'll do some fun stuff with you. But yeah, we ran into Ray. I guess it must have been earlier in the evening, and
Yeah.
like Ray can talk to you, and like the sweetest thing in the world is like. You know that Disney moment of like the little kid dressed like Cinderella who meets Cinderella? Like, that's cool. But like I had never seen the Star Wars version of that until
Yeah.
I saw a little girl dressed like Rey meet Rey, and I was like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's why.
I love it. I love it.
That shit's so adorable.
So they don't have any of the characters that. Do they have any of the characters that aren't alive right now, like Luke or any of that stuff?
No. So they have you can meet Chewie, you can meet Rey, you can meet 3PO, you can meet R2, you can meet Vi.
Kylo's there too, right?
Kylo is there. Phasma is there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's all got to be people that are kind of like, I think it's, in the era of 7 and 8. Like, I think it's actually in between 7 and 8 is
Okay.
when it's set. So you can
Are they do you know if they're planning on doing anything after post 9?
no idea.
Yeah, because I imagine they're gonna have to change some stuff.
I think what they're well, if you keep it frozen at that point in time, I think it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Because what they do is like if you
It's
walk
not gonna
into
trip some kid out if like Kylo Ren's dead after 9, and he's just like, wait a minute,
Well, you can go in and
Star Wars is a sham.
You can like go to Tomorrowland and meet Darth Vader, right? Like you'll never meet Darth Vader
with the
on,
helmet off.
on Galaxy's Edge.
Right, fair
But you
point.
can go to Tomorrowland by Star Tours, and there's Darth Vader.
Yeah,
That's fair.
You know,
All right.
so they kind of keep it
It's just,
separate.
it's just like a dead body
Yeah.
on the ground.
It's just
Like,
that
he gets
it's
to
just a
drag Darth
melted
Vader.
helmet.
It's like it'll be fun. You get to light his funeral pyre on fire. Like no, we can't keep that's really expensive.
God.
I'm of the mind, Anthony, and I don't know if you'd agree with me that Tim loves this damn green lightsaber, right? But I think he likes it only because it was the newer one.
Yeah.
Like it was always
It's
the blue
the iPhone
one,
11.
and then the green popped out. It was like, whoa, that's new. So I'm of the mind that like, what if lightsabers were always orange, and then we saw like a yellow one, and we were like, the yellow one's dope. Like I feel like that's what
I
you're
feel
doing.
like
here.
yellow's a step too far for me. Green is
Well, I'm
like
just
in
going
my
green-
comfort
The green
zone.
hilt is also so
And the hilt's what
cool.
sells me.
Luke's hilt is so cool.
And I think that's the thing is like the green is definitely somebody who is like, oh, Luke. Like Luke did, you know what I mean? Like when you get the second one, you're just like, oh, that was the original one, and then he made his own.
Yeah,
he made
it's
his
Luke's
own
saber,
He
man.
made that for himself.
I love
Don't
it.
sleep on Qui-Gon, all right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with
Never
you. I'm
sleep
with
on-
you, man.
No,
It's like my boys.
Qui-Gon's hilt is ugly.
It is
Qui-Gon
hideous.
and Obi-Wan, like first hilt, hideous hilts.
I don't have one, but I think when I finally make mine, I think I'm gonna go purple. I'm gonna go purple.
I want to go orange.
I'm gonna go purple
But
for
they don't have
Windu.
it.
You have
don't
to
have
buy
orange?
orange separately.
Oh,
can get
really?
it.
You make
You
it,
can't make it in
you
the
can
store.
go buy the orange.
Oh my god! I
Any
love
color,
orange.
any color that exists within canon, you can get.
Yeah, because I still think that like if it were always blue as the standard, or if green was always the standard, and then blue popped up, I feel like Tim would be as horny for blue.
100%.
Because it'd be
Not
like,
even a
whoa, that's the
question.
new one.
I can't
like,
fight
that's the
that.
new model, you know.
Yeah.
But they'll let you like Greg went full Sith with his. He went full dark side.
Well,
but
yeah,
they'll
so
let
now-
you do like dark side hilt with a blue.
That's
kyber
the
crystal.
thing. We leave the Millennium Falcon ride, and then we went and saw some other stuff, and then we came back for our appointment to get our lightsabers, right? And so when you went over there, yeah, the first thing you do when you check in or when you get checked in is you sit there and it's like, all right, which package do you want? And it had been, Tim had been going back and forth if he wanted green or blue this entire time, right? And
choice.
we're having these conversations that he is blue, but he wants green.
We got teal. Can we do a teal?
It's
No,
blue.
I would.
I would
though.
love to do an aquamarine.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
blue.
Blue, man. It's
I would
blue.
love to do an aquamarine.
in the right
Like
mix.
light blue.
Yeah, it's just a mix between the greens and the blues. My favorite.
Cannon.
Seafoam.
Remember Cannon? Cannon. All right. Anyways, we had this conversation over and over again at the hotel, and then when we finally got there, my idea was clear the mechanism, right? Because I was thinking green for Qui-Gon, but then when I got there, I was like, I don't know, and I don't want to match Tim either. That was the other big thing. I don't, we look too much alike already with the exact same lightsaber. That's an issue. When we got there and I looked at, they laid out the hilts and whatever. I cleared the mechanism, cleared my mind, and I wanted to know which one spoke to me. And I went that one right there, did, and that's when it said power and control, and I was like, fuck, I'm a bad guy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
we all
mean?
know this about you. We talk about that all the time to your face and behind your back.
Of course,
Mostly behind your
Grappler,
back.
I understand.
You came back with a red lightsaber. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
obviously, and then
But
that was
after
the thing.
all this talk of him getting the green lightsaber, he was pretty sold. He was sold on the green. And then we turned him on. I look over and he had red. I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Well, it was the
Why
thing
did
of
I
going
not?
in there. I knew once I picked power and control, and I knew we had a conversation about who spoke to me. You know what I mean? What they sounded like, if they had
Yeah.
a British accent, or if they were like, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. And
That's
so I was
you.
like, yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, fuck, that's me. And so I go in there and I respect canon enough that I'm not going to take the power and control lightsaber hilt and then put in a green blade. You know what I mean? I look like a clown. It'll look like Christmas out there, and it'll totally be disrespectful to all the Jedi.
All the other
It'd be
space,
a great way
all
to
the other
blend in.
space bullies will yell at him.
It'd be a great way to blend in. You know what I mean? If you're running through the darkness and like it's a
Yeah.
green lightsaber, the Jedi's like, oh man, you're dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tricked you, gotcha. I'm a bad guy.
Good trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Space trick.
Just random murders.
That's the trick. That's the trick.
So
Yeah.
then you choose one of the 4 different kind of packages, and then you wait in this little area.
You get a
and-
button that signifies which one you pick, so that when you go
So-
in there, they'll know.
Can I just
Please lay it on me.
the brilliance of Disney's merchandising department. I told you about this when we did it. There are 4 pins. Now I'm a pin collector. I'm a pin trader. That's who I am.
Pinhead.
I'm a pinhead. That's what we call ourselves
That's
in the
your
game.
character in the galaxy.
That's what we call each other in the
Oh,
game.
it's that old
Oh,
pin
it's a
trader over
pinhead.
there.
Yeah. There
pin
are
trader.
4 pins that you can only get for building a lightsaber of the corresponding pin. So essentially, this is a $250 pin. And there are 4 of them. And my Star Wars pin collection is incomplete until I have all 4 of those pins. I don't want 4 lightsabers. You don't need 4 lights. I don't need 4 lightsabers. I need the one lightsaber that is my lightsaber.
I feel like this
I need 4 pins.
I think this is an easy solution.
Yeah.
We open it up to the fans and say, hey, if you're not into pins, we need the following 3 for Anthony Carboni. They ship them to me, and I burn them on
and then
this
you
podcast.
sell them to him.
You sell them $150 each
Yeah.
to Anthony Carboni.
It's a
I
deal.
melt them along
It's
with
a
all the
deal.
dirty old churros at the end of the day.
Break one of those kids'
It's
necks.
likely that I'll be buying a lightsaber.
You're gonna want
you
the
have
pin.
to.
It's a cool pin.
Because that's the thing. Is
But now
like
you have to get the
when
one he
we
doesn't have,
we
though.
got like again at this point, I'm already like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
That was insane. That was amazing. Being in this area, I can't believe the love and care that's gone into this. The costumes for the people who are walking around, interacting with everybody. I already bought the cuffs. I
and
had
they
or
won't
whatever.
speak to you like Disney employees either, even if they're like working at a shop or whatever.
Yeah.
They speak to you like they're from Batu.
Like, yeah, you're on this planet with them, right? Where are you from? Oh, yeah. But like when we got the pins and then got ushered into the one room and then got ushered into the actual back room and got the entire presentation. Like, I know when I had read McCaffrey's piece at IGN about spending the $200 for the lightsaber or whatever, it's like, oh, that's a cool thing for your daughter. And it's like, oh, it seems like a cool thing, blah, blah. And then I don't think if we hadn't, like, obviously it was a EA trip to see this. They gave us passes to get into Disney. If I'd paid my own way into Disney and it was like a family vacation, yeah, so I would have been like, oh man, I don't want to spend another $200 for a lightsaber I never use. Having it be like, well, I really have no skin in this game, so it isn't that big of a deal. coming out the other side, I recommend every human being who ever goes there does this.
Yeah.
Because it was
It's the thing.
the coolest fucking shit I've ever seen.
It was insane. Like they made sure that it's worth the money for the experience. Where the story that they build and the way they manipulate your emotions with music and lights and everything, I've never experienced something like it. It was a Disneyland show, but it's for you, and then you get to build the thing yourself, so it feels so much more real. And it feels like you're in Fantasmic. It feels like you're in any of whatever your favorite Disneyland thing is. But it's like you just believe in the Star Wars world at that point, where they're like they build it so well, where the people you're talking to are like, all right, we're in here, and they like close all the doors and windows.
Because the whole thing is like, it's a junk shop, right? They try to keep it off the radar of the bad guys. So it's a junk shop. They don't even know. They take you through like a side door into the room, close that up, and then it is like, all right, here's the real reason you're all here, and let's talk about what you're about to do. And they have the whole presentation where they explain each crystal. They have the stuff. I don't know how much you want to show or what you're going to talk about.
I mean, if Eddie's gonna do it, I'll do it. We should show it.
Yeah, I think it's something where like if you
I've seen
don't
photos. And
yeah,
stuff.
no,
I know, but
That
did
ain't
you
living it,
get it?
man. That ain't living. I'm telling you, like you're talking about, you're
There's
gonna
a
cry.
moment.
Twice I choked up.
Yeah, no, I
there's
sort
a
of.
moment.
It's on camera of me crying. in
There,
this.
it's, and I've seen it 3 times. There is a moment where it doesn't matter, dude. You cry at everything. You just said so,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter who you are. You're gonna, even if you don't usually feel a connection to Star Wars very much, that moment is just gonna be like a very powerful.
I was
moment
one
for
with
you.
the Force in that moment.
Yeah.
you know.
And there are multiple moments in it. It's like there was the end where it's like really, really intense. But man, as they're just going through and telling the stories of different like Jedi that have come before or whatever, it's like this is excellent. And like it's scripted, but it feels off script. Like you just believe
Great
so much.
performances.
We
'cause
had a
they're
good, we had a
acting.
good leader. Yeah, we had
and
a
like,
good leader there.
and again, like back to the point.
I just assumed it was like a pre-recorded.
No,
Oh
so-
no, this
okay.
is a live action
have
show.
Have you gone to Harry Potter Land?
No.
Okay. They do kind of a similar thing there where like you go to the wand
wands.
shop and they pick one kid out of the audience and that kid gets to pick a wand, right? And it's like, well, try this one. And the kid like waves it and something explodes. It's like, whoop, that one's not for you. And then it's like, and this kid goes through and you watch as this kid gets the perfect wand, right? This is that, but everybody gets picked. Everybody gets to interact with the shopkeeper at Ollivander's. Everybody gets a moment to believe that they're going to go to wizard school. That's what they did with this. So there are 4 or 5 actors in the room with you. There are like full music cues. There's like full production. Like it's a thing. The first time I saw it was when they were rehearsing it, and we didn't even get to see the whole thing. I only got to see like the second half. And I stood up against the back, and they were like, there's like a guy from Disney running it with like a timer to make sure that everything was going smoothly. And like that moment popped up, and I was like, oh no! And I looked around, and like everybody else, and we were just on the back wall watching a rehearsal, and we were like bawling. Of course, we're all Lucasfilm employees, so we have a little more,
The chip went
Really,
off.
yeah, this chip went off and said, "Cry now." But no, it's beautiful, and it's I think it's the best part of the experience.
100%, and it's
And I
totally
think
worth
it's great
the money.
that they allow you to bring people in and to watch it with
Totally.
you.
Yeah.
Because like it's just as cool just to be in the room as you're.
Not to
building
mention, it was super helpful to have like you were filming Tim, Andrea was filming me, and like to have all those stuff. And those
Yeah, I have the
moments
whole thing
caught.
uncut, man.
Had
Yeah.
Andrea been already?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't think. At least.
No, she hasn't.
yeah.
And what's cool too is like these things are really quality, man. Anytime someone holds it for the first time, they're like, "Whoa!" Like there's like a weight to them, and there's enough options to make it feel like it's your own,
Totally.
but not be overwhelming. And I think that I don't know how that they managed to balance that, but I think it came down to the choice of the 4 different styles, where you get this kind of like bento box looking thing actually with a bunch of different parts, and like you go through and it's like choose
And
one
you
of
can
these,
try them on,
choose one
try
of
them
those.
off,
Yeah.
and do the thing and that. But even like the idea of like, I think if you were to show me this and like, oh yeah, we built it, I'd be like, oh cool, you put it all together. The fact that if you take it all apart, which you can do very easily, like I said, like I just to be safe, took it apart. Tim traveled like this, but when you can get all the way back down to where the crystal is, like you know what I mean? Like I picked out my crystal and put my crystal into the thing. And the device itself was smart enough of like it knew it was in there, it lit up at that point. Like if you take the blade off and you try to turn it on, it like fritzes out. It makes a noise different than it does when it
That's
turns
cool.
on and
Wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very
yeah,
cool
The whole
stuff.
presentation was awesome, and to be done with it. And
What about the droids? The
We
droid
went into the
building?
droid thing, but we didn't build them.
Yeah.
Oh. I was going to say, tell me about the droids after our word from our sponsors.
I heard back. Right? Yeah.
There's nothing about the droids.
No, we got that. When we went in there, that was cool as well. That was a really cool spot, but
Yeah.
nothing to this.
It's very it's very well designed, and like there are a lot of cool details for people who like there are parts of droids from like deep canon stuff where like you can be like, oh no, like
Oh, okay.
yeah. And they're fun, and they like They're kind of like those talking Mickeys or the talking Winnie the Poohs. So like you get like a little box that you can carry it around in, or you can buy a little backpack for it. So like you decide whether you're going to build a ball droid or an R droid. Okay. So you build your BB-8 or your R2-D2, and you go through a thing where somebody leads you through it, much like the Saber thing, and you go through a power-up sequence where it like comes to life and it looks at you when it comes to life, and it's like, oh hi, and it makes like happy beeps or like. And then
like a BB.
Yeah,
My BB.
it's a BB.
My BB.
My BB. So, and then you can buy different behavior chips for them. So you can get a dark side droid, you can get a first order droid, a resistance droid, or you can get a smuggler droid, and they all make different noises and have slightly different personalities. And then the big thing with the droids is as you walk them through the park, either in the backpack or in the carrying case, they react to things in the park. Oh, wow. So like if Kylo walks by your droid and you have a resistance droid, it'll be like, or if you pick like the dark side droid and Kylo walks by, it's like wop wop wop, like what's up, dude?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
That's really
If they do one for BD1 from Fallen Order, if I could get one to wear on like a backpack, that'd be cool.
BD is such a good design.
He's so cool.
It's
yeah.
so cool.
So when we finished this, we had the lightsabers and we had time to kill before they closed out the park and that stuff. So we were walking over and like John had showed up at this point. We're like, oh, let's go get photos in front of the Falcon or whatever, because they have photographers who are there. I'll take your photo, and then you get a UPC or whatever, and then you can buy the one you want or whatever. So since we were there and John was there and he's an employee, he's like, no, totally there with us and blah blah blah. So
And if you have annual pass, you get the pictures free.
Oh, perfect. So we were in line talking to them for a while, and these photographers, first off, were awesome, and they do it all the time. So like they knew where to shoot you from. They knew what to do. They did a bunch of different angles. They did like, all right, leaving the shutter open now. So on the count of 3, swing your lightsaber down or whatever.
That's the dope ass shots. Where
Yeah, did you send it? Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought I saw it
Kevin.
over there, right? Of me like swinging it down to Kevin. It's one of the ones you sent. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, so like in front of the Falcon. That's fucking awesome.
But here's what I love. Like when you look at the two of you, when you look at Tim's and then you look at Greg's, like you can see the way they were playing with their sabers differently. Like Tim was pretending to be a Jedi, and then you see Greg, and Greg.
Can you go back to Tim's?
Greg
not
is
pretending.
Greg is an ogre swinging a club.
Yeah.
He's very Kylo about it, where he's like, and it's so
Pure
fun.
rage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just like I just
Why
need
didn't
to
Grandpa
hit you.
love me?
It doesn't matter how it looks. I just need to hit you right now.
Right?
Yeah.
But like when we're hanging out with them again, like you're talking about, everybody there's in character.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were waiting in line with them and they were in character talking to us, like we just started joking around about, we do YouTube, what's YouTube, this, that, and the other, trying to explain it to you. Like, how do you explain it? I was like, you know how like when you have a droid and they'll project something in blue, like we do that. And we're talking like, oh, it's this whole thing. And so when we went on long enough and we got all the photos done there, eventually the one woman who was with us was like, all right, do you guys want to come? Do you guys want to come see something? Like, I'm going to take you to some secret coordinates. You're not allowed to tell anybody. This isn't something this is not something to do for everybody. Blah 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 blah. And it's real, right? Like she doesn't do this for everybody, but it also was like, even if you're lying to me,
It's
this
like
is
you're
awesome.
in character. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah,
We're
like
just
all right,
gonna
cool,
listen to
yeah.
you.
So like they took us in the back way to the Falcon, right? And which is usually just an out where you would just walk past and never do it. And they did these professional photos in there of us. So like usually you can go in there and everybody can get the ones in front of the Falcon or whatever. But then they pulled us aside in here and then gave us like these different photo shoots where it was, and I do force choke, have your saber out, do all this stuff. I put one up on my Instagram where I'm like,
Bob Iger is like Darth Sidious. Or something.
The moral of the story, though, and I think this is real, is just talk to
There it
them.
is.
Yeah, there we go. There's our fucking power move. But like, talk to the people and like play into the story because they'll then give you cool opportunities.
Yeah, I think a lot of people walk in and, this is going to sound like the chip in my head, but this is like legitimately,
The
I
more he
want
talks about it, the more I'm like, maybe he does have in his head.
I do want to say this because I do think this is
cool.
unlike Disneyland where it's walk around and things will happen and it's ooh ah, look at these things that are happening. I think people who go in with that idea of Galaxy's Edge wind up thinking it's a little less exciting than the rest of the park. Whereas like if you go into Galaxy's Edge and you go, I'm in Star Wars, I'm going to talk to these people like I'm in Star Wars, I'm going to make things happen for me in this galaxy, you have the best time.
Yeah.
Because they're all playing a character. The only people who are playing characters at the same level are like the goth kids who get to work at the Haunted Mansion and they just stand behind you and they scare you and they keep like they're completely, and it's all puns about dead people. That's the only people that are like equal level to Galaxy's Edge. Because these people, the photographers are like, we're image scanners. We like to grab everybody as they come in from off-world. Like, what do you do? And then I would ask him, I'd be like, glasses, huh? Like, oh, is that what these are called? Off-worlders leave things behind all the time, and we just take them because they look nice. You know
And
what I
that
mean?
was like the girls that were doing the photography, they were kind of dicks. Like they were just like giving us shit the whole time, and I was like, "This is awesome. You're space dicks."
Yeah, they told us something about how our clothes looked so weird and dumb to them.
Yeah.
Like they were having like a really good time, and if
My
you
ego
play
could not allow
around,
that. I'm like, what?
I want to talk to your manager.
yeah,
Kevin, will you throw up the one I
Andrea walks
just
out.
from the Instagram link I sent you?
Like, how are you the manager here also? Here's a question for you guys. You're not allowed to cosplay in Disneyland, are you?
No.
So no, but there's weird rules with Galaxy's Edge. At certain
Like I
times,
can't show up
especially
in my
we were
Han
there-
Solo outfit and just hang out.
No, we were there around Halloween though, so people were allowed to do certain things
For
without
Hornets
masks.
or whatever. What was
yeah,
it?
there was like an after hours for
Mickey's.
Mickey's or Oogie Boogie, whatever it's
Yeah.
called. Yeah.
So yeah, that was the case. If you go to Polygon, right, isn't it? No one's gonna probably know him. Dan Amrich, Ubisoft, whatever. Dan Amrich wrote something for, I believe it was Polygon, that is him and his wife for their anniversary or maybe his birthday went there skating the line where they can't cosplay, right? But they built characters that they wanted to go be as, and so they're in
they're
normal
role-playing
clothes,
and
but
shit.
they're getting as close as you can to the point that staff, security, when they walked over, like. Performers have to go through this entrance or whatever. And they're like, no, we're here. And they was like, ooh, I gotta call a manager.
Yeah.
And the manager's like, you're close, but it's cool. Like, go on in. And like, they kept getting stopped. And they did the thing where they printed their own Republic credits that they
Yeah.
were giving out. And like, everybody who's there working that they talked to was so into it that they were into it. And they were like, I think they get to cut a line at some point and all this cool shit.
Like
And they're
LARPing.
better, I think.
It is?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, they have what is it called? Disney bounding?
Disney bounding.
Yeah, where people
you-
kind of take
yeah,
their own.
like
you you're allowed to do
you
that
can't go
anyway.
dressed as Ariel, but you can go in like a black top and a blue skirt. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like
right.
as long as you don't look like Ariel. So, and I think they're better at Galaxy's Edge now because Dan went when they first opened, and now they're a little better at like, oh, okay, that's not
Sure.
employee.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
So
Yeah.
yeah, Kevin, real quick, throw back up the dark Tim one of him in the hallway. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the force.
he's
buttons.
called Dark Tim. We saw him in the trailer. We don't know what it means.
Give me 1 second.
There's a lot of like rumors.
Yeah.
A
The symbolism is there, and like
speculation.
clearly,
Yeah, yeah.
clearly the plot was leaning in that direction, possibly, but we don't know.
So yeah, this is the private spot we went to. All right, so then show my Instagram because this woman's there. She has this fish island. She's doing all this different stuff for us, right? And she's taking all these different shots. And again, they send us everything, right? Then show Andrea Renee. I had to ask Andrea's permission to share this photo. She said it was okay. They did the fisheye, which looks great when your hand's out. Not so much when it's just your shoulder. If you're an audio listener, Andrea's head looks about the size of a kiwi. Her arm is a redwood tree.
She looks like she is working out to portray Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
The Terminator
in the
1.
Terminator 1 like biopic.
And it was that we all were like, oh man, look how great this photo is. Oh my God. Oh, and then Andrew was like, what the fuck?
her head's like the size of her hand.
It was awesome. She was a good sport
fucking
about it.
It was
Yeah.
great.
And it was, then after that, we, wandered around a little bit and then we went to the cantina.
Yeah, the cantina was super awesome. But then for me, like the thing that I didn't even think about and didn't expect
Yeah.
is when we left.
Oh,
like,
right, we closed down
left
the cantina.
before it ended.
Yeah.
Maybe like 20 minutes or
Yeah, yeah.
something. And Greg and I are walking out, and like as we're walking, I'm looking around, I'm realizing I'm like, there's no one here. Like we're in Disneyland right now, and there is nobody. But the music's still playing. They don't stop. It's
lights
just
are still
lights
on.
are still on.
Yeah.
It's still Disneyland.
That's why we have the photos of you in front of the castle.
Yeah,
and like
Kevin
all
said
sorts
that
of
too.
stuff,
But
Have it.
so yeah, we eventually got to the in front of the castle. I'm like, we gotta take this picture.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That's
this
so
is
good.
insane. Now the thing is, if you look close, there is one person.
Oh, but that's one of the
With the
people
red
escorting
light.
you out. Yeah.
I can Photoshop that guy
Yeah.
out real easy,
Easy.
bro.
It's so funny how many people didn't believe that this was real.
Yeah.
When I posted it, but they're
Yeah.
like, how the fuck is this possible?
It's so funny because you're such a Disney fan in general, right? Whereas I think Disney is very cool, and I respect the amount of detail they put into the park and whatever. But for me, it's Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
It's like Galaxy's Edge in the Haunted Mansion, and then I can go.
Yeah.
But like, so I didn't even think as I was walking out. I was walking out with Altano, and it's like me and him and like literally nobody else. Or, me and Altano and Jake Baldino, and we're like walking out. There's nobody else there. I wasn't even thinking about taking pictures. I was just like, cool, yeah.
well, that was
like,
the thing. We're like the only people that did
Yeah.
it. I think Andrea got a shot from behind the castle. But like, you can't get this shot. This like,
oh, dude, there was a line for an hour to get that
yeah,
shot.
and there's tons of people
you
around
show
this
this guy?
thing. That's insane.
That's the special Halloween shot. Like we literally walked in and there was literally people waiting for an hour to get their picture taken in front of that.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that? What's behind it? What's that long?
It's the
String.
thing of the pump. Oh no, that's just a pole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But as like the exit's like right there, so like we're about to go, and we start talking to the dude, and I was like, it was super like wait, how long do you have to stay here? And like, it was something crazy, like 4:30 a.m. We're like, damn. I was like, when do they turn the music off? He's like, dude, they don't. Like it just stays on at all.
That would drive me crazy.
It would drive me nuts. It would drive me nuts if I was a Disney employee and I was like,
can't
because
do
it's
it.
like an hour loop, right?
Yeah.
Or something like it can't be. It's not like 8 hours of music. It's
No,
like
but
an hour
it's
loop.
longer than. Because you can get the CDs that have it. It's like it's longer than you'd expect. It's not like you're hearing the same song on loop.
It's not long when you're there for 8 hours.
True.
It's not that
Yeah.
short when you're there for 8 hours
I was
alone.
gonna
I'll
say,
tell you
I
that
used to
much.
work at an Italian restaurant where they had a loop of like an hour of Italian music, like Dean Martin. And by the third week I worked there, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It was not good. But
You're
then
like the
after a
one girl
while,
from the
You're
Curly
like,
you
yeah,
push through and you
yeah,
just learn
Dino,
all the
I'm
lyrics.
thinking about drinking too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It was brutal.
That's a joke for all the over 50s out there. For me and Nick.
It was
and all the
awesome.
other over 50s out there.
It was incredible. Like it was so insane. Like all around, it was such a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I'm glad you guys had it.
Me too.
Yeah, thanks.
I just,
it's
Altano,
cool that you
Brian
guys did it.
Altano tried to walk out early. And I caught him before he walked out early. I was
He's
like,
such a
don't you, I was
dad.
like, don't
He's
you do
such
it.
a
He's like,
dad.
I want to go FaceTime my daughter.
He's like, I'm gonna go. And he's
Why
like,
is
you're
he
not,
water?
dude. It's 1:45. You're not FaceTiming anybody. I was
Yeah.
like, don't leave. It's like, stay. It's like another 15 minutes. Stay. He was like, I gotta go. I was like, you're not pulling this thing. You're not pulling because we're all walking to the same bus. You're not getting out any earlier than we are. You're waiting in the bus. Wait here. Have another fuzzy tauntaun.
Yeah, God. You had one, and then I was like, I'll try to something else. And I was like, I got to go back to this tauntaun.
It's fuzzy tauntaun all the way down.
It
Hell
was,
yeah,
it was. And that was the thing. Then the rest of the night when I'd run into people and they'd be drinking, I'm like, oh, fuzzy tauntaun. And they all, shit you not, 4 different people were like, yeah, Carboni told me to get it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So here's
he's the mayor of Star
The
Wars. Like,
recap of this episode is Fuzzy Tauntaun.
Yep.
Do the lightsaber thing.
Yep.
Single rider of Space Mountain is the pro tip that'll make you look cooler than anyone else.
also for the
That's
Falcon,
really all you need to know.
right? Like, it was,
Well, it's single rider for everything, but like, it's new for Space Mountain, and like,
Okay,
nobody
okay.
knows. Like even the people that are like in the know of Disneyland, like I was shocked that it existed, and it's super hard to find.
okay.
Pro tip.
Those are good tips.
Anthony Carboni, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me.
Thanks again for flying up on an hour's notice to do Extra Life as well and just stay up
Crazy
all night.
man.
I
bastard.
do it for the gargantuan,
This giant kid.
Massive.
gorgeous children.
Big bloated kids.
On the pre-show,
Yeah.
one Tim Gettys did try to get me to break a few embargoes on the Watto game we're working on and how small he can get or how big he can get. I want you to
Listen,
know,
we're not talking about how small
towed the
Watto
line.
can get right now. We know that the fans are interested in a small Watto, just as we're interested in small Watto, and we want you to know that we're Watto fans just like you are.
Yeah.
We want to see how small Watto can get to, and we're very excited about the things that we can do with current levels of technology.
As Greg said,
We're excited to show more of the small Watto later.
at the Game Awards.
Or less.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing their lives to the table to talk to you. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindoffunny. You can watch us record the show live. You can get a pre and post show. You can get it ad-free. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way and support, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindoffunny. Rooster Teeth and podcast services around the globe each and every Friday for an episode without a pre and post show, and it has ads. So suck on that. Until next time, no. It's been our pleasure to serve you.